heard it wrong, nigga. Ain't nothing sweet about my techniques. You checking for my practice quotes, I wrote that. My history severely involves destruction. Niggas left with their ass bleeding lyrical fucking. Open up, close the bus, let me see your heart. Turn the lights down, cause I might clown in the dark. When I check for the heart cement, what do we find? Niggas watching from my pockets, planting blocks on mine. Am I blind? Let my rhymes speak. For me in history, a legend, you define me. Dumb Machiavelli bitch, down the death row. But what you say, we untouchable. Gallery unshook doctrine. He ain't made a beat in 6 years, sway the shit. Won't get no record sales, sucking Nas dick. Let me get my preach on. Nigga drop the beat, I get my freak on. The wrong one for you to sneak on. Motherfucker, watch it. My name in the game of follow. Wait, and I'll murder these snakes tomorrow. Bunch of washed up, jealous ass punks, low. Red bullshit and pop, flip the bomb, low. Machiavelli rise. All you niggas out when I come. I see some fly shit and be done. They say Block ain't got love for the east side. Use a lie, motherfucker, nigga, we wild. Watch your man. Trey got beef, cause I'm dissing his club. Cool, come bring your ass, nigga, you can get dick. I'm worldwide, steady roll rapping. Get your cash on, nigga, 5 times flat. What's that? Daylight got a problem with this hard shit. Ever since me, myself, and I, y'all been garbage. No, I'ma keep it real. Show you how it feels to ride. Y'all in 3 feet, stop rise. I ain't think shit. Wendy Williams is a fat bitch, that's the truth. I got a jar full of niggas nuts, that's for you. Let the west side, east side drama see. I come alone to your own streets. Outlaw, prepare for panic when I unleash. Niggas is lucky if they leave here in one piece. Queen Puff never had no heart to start, so how the hell Biggie Small get the board? My name in the game of follow. Wait, and I'll murder these snakes tomorrow. Bunch of washed up, jealous ass punks, low. Red bullshit and pop, flip the bomb, low. Machiavelli rise. All you niggas down when I come. I see some fly shit and be done. They say Block ain't got love for the east side. Use a line, motherfucker, nigga, we wild. Watch it, it was hardcore. The very essence of my poetry dyslexic, so you backward ass niggas to know me. The only G to bleed for the shit I bring. And swing hard on motherfuckers, that's my thing. Focally, I'm pure, so you OD trying to throw me. Don't get your life took, trying to run with your homies. Y'all know me, same nigga, so quick to blast. On this worldwide ass, trying to get some cash. My name in the game of follow. Wait, and I'll murder these snakes tomorrow. Bunch of washed up, jealous ass punks, low. Red bullshit and pop, flip the bomb, low. Machiavelli rise. All you niggas down when I come. I see some fly shit and be done. They say Block ain't got love for the east side. Use a line, motherfucker, nigga, we wild. Watch your back. Love that shit. I love that dub shit. I wrote this for my niggas on the east side. Oh, this for my niggas on the west side. I wrote this for my niggas on the east side. I wrote this for my niggas on the west side. They for my niggas on the north rush.
I'm bringing this for my people on the west side. I'm bringing this for my people on the west side. I'm bringing this for my people on the east side. I'm bringing this for my people on the south side and the northwest side of every country, every state. This is Pete Wichert and Johnny B. Good.
Yeah, buddy.
And it is May 3rd, 2014. Already time is flying, and this is The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction with Pete Wichert and
Johnny B. Good.
Yeah, buddy. This is already podcast 11, and first off, we'd like to thank you, you out there, the fans, the everyone who supports us. Worldwide, man. We're blown away by all the countries. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're not just here. We're worldwide. I mean,
it's unbelievable.
That's respect right there. I give it respect to everyone.
And we give respect back to you.
Buddy.
It's tatted on my arm for life. So thank you, everyone in Germany. What's her name? I have a great fan out there who's posting everything. Stay vigilant and keep waking up the masses, because everything that happens here it has an impact no matter where you're at.
You know?
We are one consciousness, one being, regardless race, religion, color. You could be black, white, orange, green. As long as you're a human being born on this planet, we're all in this fight together.
I agree with you, Pete.
And again, it's been another kind of weird week. I got first off, Chicago. You took a step back. We've been doing nothing but great things.
I like that one.
For you and promote. I mean, you even gave people the right to, smoke marijuana and own a gun.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you took a step back this past week with the other prison city, New York, and banned a thing called electronic cigarettes.
Yeah,
These things right here.
yeah.
Well, we're going to protest on air right now.
All it is vape. All it
It-
is vape.
It's water vapor. The test that you guys actually came out with, it was sponsored by people that lobby to end e-cigs because they can't get a cut. The government's like a giant pimp.
Well, they were trying to say people are annoyed with the smell
That
and all
has
that.
nothing to do
well,
with
no,
that.
that's like their excuse, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
and then they
saying?
came out fraudulent study saying it has like some chemical. Well, how many chemicals do cigarettes have? It's ending
Exactly.
lives by helping people who would quit because they like being in the social, atmosphere at the bar. Well, now they got to go outside even to smoke a e-cig, so you're sabotaging the business.
You took the cigarette away from us, which I find, I understand. That's
Yeah.
that's cigarettes.
My father passed away, and that's another thing I'd like to say. My father passed away May 2nd of 2012, so rest in peace, Dad. I love you. Just remind me, and I hope you're up there.
He's
I
always,
know you're
he's always
watching
with you.
over me with
Always with you, brother.
all the
Always with you.
harassment and threats I've received, and everything. You gave me the will to fight, and it's people like my father who worked their asses off that got dropped from their health insurance by big corporations that don't give a crap about whether you live or die. And it only makes me fight harder, and I feel him, still fighting with me, man. So,
And I'm with
Dad,
you,
I
brother.
love you.
I'm
I
with
miss
you, man.
man.
I'm totally with you, brother. I'm totally with you.
It's like I said yesterday. It was hard for me, but I'm still out here today fighting, and I know that's the way he'd want it to be. And I appreciate everyone's prayers out there because we need them, man. My phone has been sabotaged again every week when we do this show for like a week.
Not surprised. I'm not
I
surprised.
can't call anyone. I can't get messages. I never receive the messages. They're being like literally taken from me.
Even me trying to get a hold of him is he'll get a hold of me eventually, but it's hard.
They're
very hard.
sabotaging me. I mean, there's no way of my communications, and that's without a doubt. But we have a powerful show, man. We got, like we said, we're gonna talk about the e-cigs
Hey, this
being
is
banned
yeah,
as a
this is
step
gonna be
back.
this is gonna be a good one.
And
This is
why
a good one.
that happened, and it has nothing to do with our safety or children wanting. It has nothing to do with it. Nothing. We're also going to talk about, because what happened with our friend Paul Miles.
Yeah.
He asked us to look into, the security cameras. We've covered a lot about, Chicago's system. So we're going to tell you about the national goal, how Chicago links up to that national system, and why you should carry yourself.
Yeah, we're true to our word. We're gonna, we don't like this. When it happens, you hear it in the news to other people. You still kind of, you're sad about it, and you're like, what's going on? This is messed up. And then when it hits you personally, no matter how you look at it, it's messed up. And when it hits you, though, as someone then it's like, wow. Wow.
And it's like a curse we set on air too. That's
I know.
what happens.
I know.
But we already are attacking this.
I don't know I don't know how many times we've talked about, we've checked them a couple times.
Yeah, on the way here, we just saw about at least 12 new spy retina scanner,
Edison,
long white camera.
Edison and
Addison Cicero. We had
Edison Central.
Addison Central. We had it at Six Corners here, everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everywhere now. They're expanding the camera
And
system.
that's right by me. That's right by me.
And right by me too.
Well,
I
I didn't even see it though. I was like, wow. When you
most
pointed,
people don't notice,
I didn't notice
because they're above the light. They do it like real discreetly. There's no signs up for like the other ones. It actually is against the law, but
I swear they came out of nowhere.
yeah, I mean, we warned you guys. It's gonna be in Park Ridge. It's gonna be in Niles. It's gonna be in these places in which are the safest, like literally safest parts of this area, northwest suburbs of near Chicago. We're like in Chicago, but you drive like 10 minutes up, you have some of the safest neighborhoods. Now, why do they have cameras?
It doesn't make
with
any,
a zero
yeah,
crime
yeah.
rate.
Well, it doesn't make any sense.
And without, I mean, there's the profit aspect of it, but they don't even have, they're not speed cameras, people.
No,
The
no,
speed
no,
cameras
no.
are advertised and up.
There's a difference between the speed cameras and those
Yeah.
cameras. It's you
And
can tell the difference.
the crime rate's going up, but the cameras are also going up at a rapid rate, and that doesn't make sense if they're there to truly solve crime. So we're going to explain why they're there.
And why are they not solving crime?
Exactly, and what does that indicate?
Yep.
You know, so on top of that, a lot of people are asking about chemtrails. Well, we're going to take it one step further. We found a video from InfoWars in which Alex Jones breaks it down so great.
Yeah, that was an amazing video.
With government document references, and I'm going to bring up an article about lasers and how they plan on, or are already basically using lasers to control weather in addition to that, and then how that ties into the chemtrails and how long the chemtrails have been going on and how they all relate, what the chemtrails' purpose are, what's in there, and all that will be explained by Alex. And then I'm going to break it down in more layman's terms, exactly how they play in the grand scheme of things and why it's so important for them to do this to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's crazy, people. I mean, it relates to a lot of sinister things. Like
It's gonna wrap your brain around. It's very intense.
You know,
It's
then
very intense.
then we have the article covering the Obama administration. Despite pledges of being the most transparent administration, or basically, if you look at Obamacare, that means the least transparent. Well, they're actually fulfilling that goal, and they are still not releasing any of the secret legal, like pretty much determining whether this is constitutionally legal, whether it's legal against us as individuals, like breaking credit. It's basically they have meetings on the effects of what could happen and how these things work. And we're going to explain to you that it's not just government agencies, people. If you have an ex-girlfriend or boyfriend that happens to work for a private company that happens to make and run surveillance equipment, they could be targeting you for absolutely no reason other than the fact that, hey, you broke up with me and I'm pissed. And it is now a for-profit business to spy. So you think the terror alert's going to go down when people are making money on ratting out each other, kids ratting out parents like we covered?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have neighbors, you have business owners getting paid to link these cameras, and we're going to explain how all of this coincides, what the end game is, and it's going to be powerful and very informative.
It's very all connected. It is very all connected. It's crazy how it's all connected.
It is. It really is, and since the 1920s, people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, think about that. I mean, that's right when airplanes just began. They're already trying to play God with the weather.
That's a long time. That is a long time. I mean, it's not a very long time, but that's still
Compared,
a long
you know,
time.
Flight wasn't around,
Yeah,
you know, and they're
I
already
know.
thinking about weather modification with silver iodine. It's crazy. And, I mean, we're going to get into things that, you know, we got the True Seeker question, social media
Of
questions of the
course,
week
of
by
course.
Johnny B. Good.
Got to.
What is another thing we predicted? The push for biometric guns. Well, guess what, people? It's here, and Eric Holder is behind it again, the ringleader of Fast and Furious, and a piece of garbage. Is Alex Jones with us today?
Is Alex Jones with us today, Danny?
I hear Alex is here. Alex, how do you feel about Eric Harold?
Piece of garbage.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex. I agree with you fully.
Well, that's Alex Jones input. I agree. He is a piece of garbage. That might be
Piece of garbage.
A double piece of garbage.
Double time.
That's still putting it lightly, but Alex, thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
That's Alex Jones from Infowars.com.
And I always give Alex props.
And we will again today.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, we're
Oh, yeah.
taking, you know, about 20 minutes of our time to let him inform you, because we realize that he, on this particular subject, is basically years ahead of us, because we're in our mid-20s. He's 50 years old and been involved in a long time, and we're going to give credit where credit's due.
He's a wise man.
Yeah.
Very, very wise man.
And people, I hope, like Sean and Buzzsaw sharing our
Yep.
show, thank you very much.
Thank
we
you.
do the same, you know, and we we promote others that are liberty-minded, freedom-based, people. And if, I'm not going to go out and say I'm a chemist and this and that, but the research that they did with the amount of crew they have beat ours, and we're going to give them the chance to explain it to you guys. Because we've been getting a lot of weather modification questions.
Oh yeah.
A lot of
Oh yeah.
chemtrails. A lot of people are seeing it. And, I mean, it's not imaginary. It's going on right in front of us.
People are curious. They're very curious.
And I mean, I've heard people, I have a couple emails from Washington, D.C., two different people, asking me how the Congress and Senate and President do not see it. Well, here's the thing. Half of the Congress and Senate are ignorant to it. And you think the President's going to speak out? I mean, this is the...
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So basically, they're exposing themselves as well to it. That shows how suicidal and ignorant these people are. And then they're supposed to run our country.
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not. I mean, I would think they'd be wearing like Darth Vader masks around at least to protect themselves. But hey, maybe they have some kind of pill they're taking we don't know about, But heavy metals falling from the sky is not good for anybody.
No, not at all.
And yeah, so I mean, we got the biometric story with the guns that we were talking about, and pretty much other than that, we got the government saying, well, we could have increased terror alert here in the U.S. And basically most people say, oh, that's good, they're warning us. Well, the problem is we're giving the damn weapons to Al Qaeda.
I know when you told me this, I was very, very wowed. When you told me this one, because I didn't really look up this one, and this was the wower for me. This is.
I had to tell them in the car. I was like, look, they put Al Qaeda in places they want to destabilize. Okay, they say, hey, they're the enemy. They actually, Brzezinski founded them in the late '80s, Johnny, and this is the same guy that basically is with Obama. About.
Okay.
And so they had them fight the Russians. And when they literally beat the Russians in the Cold War, helping bring an end to it, we kind of just said, forget the agreement. We're not going to give you any of the food and money and all the stuff they promised them, basically, which sprung this whole hatred towards the West because they did the dirty work and didn't receive any of the promises that were, given by our higher-ups to if they won what they take care of. So then later on you have Osama bin Laden who starts, training these guys. Well, here's the thing. Who is the only family to be able to fly in the U.S. airspace on the day of 9/11?
Yeah,
the bin Ladens.
Yeah, I know. That's a little weird there.
And what they do is they'll send Al-Qaeda to a place, have them cause havoc, kill Christians, literally shoot missiles in the air and put it online for anyone to see if you want to look it up. They have heat-seeking missiles that could take down aircraft. And they're saying they're going to shoot us, yet we give them the guns, act like we're going to come in, solve the problem, come in, ship them out in the CIA plane, as Tosh Plumlee, the whistleblower, is alluded to, and move them to the next place and keep going and keep going. And what do? We secure our interest there, like oil, wherever place we want, kind of like Iran-Contra. And that's what Tosh Plumlee is now pretty much getting a gag order for just posing 10 questions related to Benghazi and how that was actually, with the army standing down, a way to get Al-Qaeda arms.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why they watched and let them stand down.
When you told me we're giving terrorists weapons, I was just like, wow. That was my words. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Al-Qaeda, like
how?
the people from 9/11.
I said why and how and wow.
I mean, how do, I don't know, the politicians that sign this, or if they know, I mean, it's probably covert, but the people that even fly the weapons, or how do you not, feel guilt and live your life? I mean, how do you live your life knowing you're arming a bunch of people that are killing Christians and want to kill us?
You know why? Because they're heartless.
Yeah. And these people are
evil.
Okay.
Evil and heartless.
We'll take your weapons, but we're going to use them on you. They say it. They make threats.
Yeah,
we still do it because it's worthwhile, because the oil costs more. is better in their perspective than, you know, maybe losing a couple lives in a terrorist
Basically,
attack.
you're talking corruption.
You know,
It's
they
basically
did it
corruption.
with Muammar Gaddafi. They did it in Syria. They tried to overthrow Assad with Al Qaeda, and I got articles from CNN talk about, oh, Yemen and pretty much Iraq now is covered. Iraq, before we invaded, had Christian churches, and literally, I'm not going to say Saddam was a good person, but he ruled with the iron fist. People were afraid of him. Well, the U.S. recently just gave Al Qaeda a base in Iraq.
I know when you told me that one too, I was like,
A
why?
base
Why are
that-
they giving them a base?
A base, brother.
A base.
Yeah, that people die for to secure.
Weapons, a base.
Yeah.
Just give them whatever they want.
And,
Anything.
and why do you think they won't answer anything on Benghazi? Because again,
Yeah,
that's where they
yeah.
got the weapons. That's why it's such a touchy subject, and the media is lying about it and doesn't want to touch it, is because that's where they got the equipment to basically cause the havoc they've been. And if we never invaded Iraq, there'd be no Al Qaeda in Iraq.
Exactly.
There'd be Christian churches.
Exactly.
The women wouldn't have to wear those hoods over their head.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, so what did we do? We made them worse. You know, and it's not a coincidence, people.
No, not at all.
I mean,
Not at all.
everywhere we go, but
Everything is connected in a way.
everything is. I mean, like I think in The Dark Knight Rises, the best thing is when Robin, you know, the detective,
Yeah.
goes to the old man detective that's
Yeah.
in the hospital, and he pretty much promotes him to detective, and he goes, hey, you're not allowed to believe in coincidences anymore.
Yeah.
And that is powerful and true, because when you're a detective, when you're a historian, like when you're researching stuff like we do, you really can't say it. And then there's people that have come out and said there are no coincidences, everything is planned. I mean, presidents have come out and said this. Sure, things happen that are coincidental. Not every single thing relates and is planned. But when you see a pattern going over and over again, it's not a coincidence anymore. When does coincidence become fact? You know?
True.
And
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
and with this Al Qaeda thing, it's literally becoming fact. I mean, they are flying the Bin Laden Brigade flag and chanting Osama bin Laden, Osama bin Laden, and shooting rockets into the air.
That's not right. That is
And
not
then the
right.
CIA sneaks in, flies them out to the next destination, bombs it, acts like they cleared them out, and then we say, oh, you know what, we could help get rid of them. It's a genius plan, I'll
Yeah,
tell you
no,
that.
I agree with you.
But for this, we have the Patriot Act. For this, 9/11, are we supposed to believe that now, if they were real enemies like that, all of a sudden, everything's cool, man. Just over Syria, just get rid of this guy Assad for us, and just we'll forget about 9/11? I mean, that's ridiculous, you know, that we're even working with these guys. And they're not a government, they're a radical
I was gonna
terrorist
say
group.
it's ridiculous how we're even working with them.
Yeah,
It's,
and we founded them, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the sketchy thing. And Building 7 of the World Trade Center with the Secret Service and all that, they literally got control, like, blown up on 9/11, didn't even get hit by anything.
Yeah.
Just so happened to probably hold the records of all the people related that work with Al Qaeda. So, coincidence? I don't think so.
No way.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Not when it didn't get hit by anything.
Yeah.
You
No, I
know?
agree with you, Pete.
But we're gonna bring up again, open phones.
Yeah.
You could call on anything and everything.
Anything you want, and like that's a great one. Anything and everything.
Anything and everything. The number is 773-657-3341. What's your take on the Clippers owner?
Anything you or just want to talk to us, call us.
How
and
do you
talk
feel
to
about
us.
the Blackhawks at this point? You know,
Whatever you want.
we just want to pick your guys'
If
minds
you
out
want
there
to talk
listening.
to Pete, if you want to talk to Pete or me, Johnny be good.
Or Alex Jones.
Or Alex Jones.
You know, he's has a few words to say only.
He
But,
only has a couple words, but he's in our presence.
but I mean, call 1-773-657-3341, and if you're watching live on Google Plus or YouTube live events, the number is directly behind us, and what's blocked out is 773. So 773-657-3341 to join the Truth is Stranger Than Fiction with me, Pete Wichert, and Johnny B. Good.
Yeah,
We'll
buddy.
be live for actually the next couple hours, and like I said, throw us random stuff, whatever you want, man. Like, we just want to hear from people out here in Chicago. We know we have a lot of listeners. I don't know about live right now on Saturday night
yeah.
with this beautiful weather out here.
It's beautiful. It's Saturday. I
But-
mean, it's understandable. But we do have listeners and watchers. So.
And we want you guys to start speaking up because good things are happening in Chicago. And the more we speak up, and hey, they're listening. They hear us, okay? They know
Yeah.
what we're talking
Yeah.
about. Trust me. I don't have a phone because of it. So, hey, bring something up we missed. Bring something up you want to inject. But our first and main thing of the day is chemtrails, because everyone, keeps asking, and it is something that at first, I know a decent amount about, like how we've talked about in the air, we read documents.
Yeah, and I did some research myself when I knew we were going to do chemtrails, so I got deep into it myself.
It's shocking. It started in 1920.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, 1920, people. And to be honest with you, the chemtrails itself, there are things called contrails, okay? Contrails are natural. They've always been there in planes. When we say chemtrails, okay, what we're saying is based off government documents, patents, and Senate and Congress hearings to go back to 1966, probably 1954, one of my sources say, where they were talking about it in public. You know?
Yeah.
Think about that, having a Congress and Senate or a hearing right now about chemtrails. It's almost unthinkable, but back then they actually cared. So they were wondering. So we know about, silver iodine being put into the clouds and things like that. And what we didn't know until recently is all you have to do is look up government patents. They have actually devices that disperse this stuff out of the exhaust, the jet fuel exhaust, without people knowing. So you could be a pilot of a civilian or military aircraft, be flying and have no idea that you're actually doing this.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing. And what is the purpose of chemtrails? People wanted to know. A lot of people are wondering, like, is it to kill us? Is it? I mean, honestly, they're spraying heavy metals in the air. It's gonna have negative impacts. They have to know it. They are so blatantly ignorant and like evil that they write about this and try to justify it by saying global warming.
Well, yeah, no, the reasons are, what I looked up at least, they gave us reasons. Well, it's global warming and also to protect us from terrorists.
Yeah.
That's in the good old.
So what if it was cloudier by the World Trade Center? They might have missed that day.
Well, you know what I'm saying? That I don't understand how they.
Wow.
The reason, because I was.
Now
I was
that shocks
researching.
me, and that's hard that they actually were trying to say that could provide. Maybe stop sending them rocket launchers.
Yeah, they said save us from global warming and save us from terrorists. And the other reason is weather modification, which that's basically what it is.
I mean, weather modification. You guys really need to think about the impact.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could take, like, rain from certain areas that rely on farming, you could literally siege them like with the weather. And how could you pinpoint who your enemy is, who's attacking you? When I looked at my own article, I was like, wow, if I didn't read this from government documents, I have tsunami bombs written down here. I have, basically, they use electromagnetic pulses, EMP, microwave energy. They could set off volcanoes. They could shoot this below. They could shoot it up in the ionosphere and charge the ionosphere and literally turn a lightning bolt into an atomic bomb.
Yep.
I mean, these people are not hiding this.
The control of this is really, really crazy. Of the weather, weather modification.
Yeah.
They call it. They call it weather warfare.
Or in their own words.
In their own words.
And the newer term is geoengineering.
Yeah, that's a new term.
The way they try to hide it now.
Yeah, but the old terms.
Yeah.
You're
correct.
It's weather warfare. I mean, I love their reasons. That's the 3 reasons that they gave me.
Yeah, I mean, right here we have from 1970, and I'm not going to read it because it's literally the testimony for like a day-long hearing, so I'm not going to go through everything, but anyone can read this. It's titled House Congress Appropriations Committee on Department of Defense Appropriations for 1970 Hearings before a subcommittee of the Committee on Appropriations, House of Representatives, 91st Congress, first session, okay? And that's when they actually literally title it Chemical and Biological Warfare, Monday, June 9th, 1969. And they go in and talk about things like how, like you said, they're using it for defense, defense research, and pretty much everything from communicating to submarines, from that to putting up some kind of shield to like Star Wars to protect us. I mean, honest to God, it's a lot of, they say in here we can't talk about the real purposes already back then.
Yeah.
So whatever they're saying out here is really not their main goal,
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah, and they tell Congress too, we're not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm just pointing out that this is from 1969.
Do you know the long-term and short-term effects of this? I looked this up too.
Let's see. What do you got for me?
For
I'm guessing mental disorders.
Well, do you want the short-term or long-term?
Both.
Oh, all right. Which one do you want me to start with?
Let's go short term.
All right, short-term. This is what they said. You're gonna have stomach and chest pains.
Okay.
Okay, and then long-term is blood pressure problems, and that's basically, and also meant to wear down the immune system.
Well, that's
the long term.
Well, think about the oil.
Yeah,
and,
no, yeah, I know, but
is that a coincidence too? Everything that they do seems to have the same goals.
how is that helping long-term blood pressure problems? And it's also meant to wear down the immune system. You want to wear down our immune system?
Well,
Really?
Johnny, the world is overpopulated.
No, yeah.
Like Bill Gates said, so I mean, let's just poison everyone who lives underneath O'Hare.
Excuse my language, but fucking Bill Gates. I mean, come
Just
on.
poison all of them.
Just poison everyone.
I'm not a racist, but I think that 42% of African American babies should have abortions. Yeah.
Oh, and then what I was reading about, what year was that? I don't even know what I was reading. The racist germ.
Oh yeah, no. They have biological weapons that could hit only gay people, only straight people, only people with blue eyes.
I'm gonna look at that really quick.
I mean, they have the craziest weapons that you could ever imagine. I mean, they even put literally AIDS in Bayer aspirin on purpose. Like they've done some of the craziest crap. Vaccines with cancer. I mean.
1951.
See?
Racist germs. That's what in 1951 they.
And our government was racist more in 1951.
There's a lot more than just that, but I just wanted, since you mentioned that.
Yeah, and the Tuskegee experiment where they injected African Americans or black people. I'm not quite sure what they'd like to be called anymore, because every term you use, every network says is racist. So
yeah, and then you got
any African Americans are listening, can you call in too and please tell us your take on the recent statements by the Clippers owner and what you'd prefer to be called? Because I know a lot of my friends don't like to even be called African; they just like to be called American.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them.
I just had to say that since you mentioned that. What year basically they did that? The first time they did that.
That's crazy. We had Douglas MacArthur right here, research and tech. We got Dr. Harris, deputy assistant. This is in 1969. That's it. The people they had come, and literally is like the chemistry people, the life sciences research center. They had a group of my space program. And they talk about a broad spectrum. They never really get into details, but they do talk about filtrations in this one, chemical detection, weather weapons, clinical and biological warfare weapons, and they use the excuse that other countries are probably using chemical weapons, so we have to develop our own.
I just want to add, and I don't mean to interrupt you.
Another
one on 1956 to 1958, testing on blacks. And then it was the U.S. Army did field tests in the poor black communities of Savannah, Georgia,
Is this with the bugs?
Avon Park, Florida. This is the testing.
Where
This
they
is
drop the bugs with the disease over the counties and stuff?
Yeah, this is when it first started. I told you when it first started was.
Because I know they did that
Yeah,
in the
no.
same place. So there's this cloud seeding. Because I know cloud seeding.
Well, the first open air tests were in the coast of Norfolk, Virginia.
Yeah, okay, I know.
Norfolk, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that was when they were trying to drop it just to attack
Yes,
African Americans.
yes. And then there's spraying San Francisco in 1950, and then I told you 1951 was the racist germs, 1955 the whooping cough,
Lyme disease.
yeah, oh yeah, it goes on. I can go on and on and on and on. It's all here.
Yeah.
It's all here.
And the GMOs they're dropping too, or putting in the plants and stuff like that. We're like not in the second generation, and the lab rat tested the third generation. They're like mentally not there anymore. They're retarded mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And is that what our society's becoming because of this? I think that has a big part in it. Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I agree with you.
We don't have things like autism just shoot through the roof for no reason.
Well,
Cancer rates.
Because of this, it caused a lot of problems.
Yeah. Whose idea? Great idea was it?
I mean, just me looking this up and finding this, and I mean, like I said, I haven't read all of them. I skipped some, but there's a lot of them throughout the years. They break it all down to, I mean, but it started in Norfolk, Virginia, and it just went from there.
And think about how more sophisticated these things have gotten since.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, right here, MacArthur says that effective dispersal is difficult. Talk about chemtrails. That is why you require that the number of tons it would have to be dispersed in the air from aircraft or missiles, which would have to fly over the city and deliver it fairly uniformly over the entire area. See, so that was the problem holding back the program in 1960. Now, Now we've overcome these programs, and there's a patent on the .gov website for disbursement and jet fuel of geoengineering.
Yeah.
Silver iodine, and the video clip we'll play breaks that down a lot better. But we just want to tell you, I mean, literally it goes back that far.
Well, yeah, I just want to let you know what I read and what I researched, where it started, kind of, where they started first dropping it.
We actually have a witness coming on that you heard from the interview, who was the first guy to do that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, silver iodine in the clouds.
Okay.
So he wasn't messing around with any of those crazy things, but they do have, to this day, they could drop something in the air out of a plane, and this disease will only attack straight people, gay people, people with blue eyes, people with brown eyes. They could make it that much. And this is crazy.
You're talking about the trailers, right? The chemtrails?
Yeah, they could put stuff up there where when it falls, it only attacks certain groups.
Well, I love how they have the tic-tac patterns, the X patterns, and then how the planes, or whatever they're using, whatever aircraft they're using, loops around.
Yep.
They don't just fly.
Yeah, and that X is
well, they do the X, and also they said they do the tic-tac pattern. And then the aircraft, which they don't just use one aircraft.
They use military, civilian, and of all sorts.
But they all said they loop around. They loop around.
The pilot will get, it's not, you're not ready to come in yet. And they're not even aware that
and
they're
I also
doing this. It's compartmentalization.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I also read that different colored trails too.
Yeah, I have the X pattern you're talking about.
Yeah.
Go to The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction, or just type in chemtrails over Chicago, Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. I caught an X on camera, and a plane going that didn't leave a trail right by it, a plane looping, and then the weather changes so rapidly. There's a day we had trees knocked down, power outages. I caught it on camera. It's on our official YouTube page.
You want to know why? And I also researched Why they have those patterns? It's the reason for patterns is for the stop and start of areas.
Oh, wow.
That's what I
So it sounds
also
like X marks the spot, huh?
basically, yeah, when they're doing those patterns, what I was researching, and this is all facts.
And they probably come together right there
This
to
is
cause
yeah, this
that
is basically
chemical
well,
reaction.
for the patterns, the reason for it is stop and start of areas.
Yeah, and that's obviously
It's
showing they want to probably mix.
basically where it's at. It's
Wow.
when they're showing you the patterns. That's the start or the stop and start. Start or stop of the areas.
That's
Which
crazy.
I was amazed with that one when I looked that one up.
Yeah.
I was
Check out that video because I caught that while it was happening, and the weather changes in a 4-minute video.
Yeah.
Like, boom. So yeah, I caught an X pattern.
I went
on
very
there.
deep into researching this when you were
Yeah.
saying we were gonna do this.
Oh,
I
since
went
last
very
week
deep.
we've been, tearing through. I mean, honestly, you guys, you could like literally spend 3 days reading just government documents
Yeah,
on
yeah. There
geoengineering.
was so much
Yeah.
stuff. I just broke it. I basically clumped it all together, and the things that I figure would be kind of interesting to you people,
Yeah, that
to
was
your
really
viewers, and
informative, bro.
to the viewers and watchers. I figure, and you know what? It's our own military biological experiments.
Yeah.
That's what kills me. It's our own military biological experiments.
And how far back it's gone.
And
I
how-
used to always
yeah, and
think
how-
like,
yeah,
we were
yeah.
better back then, but it shows you, man, we've always like looked at us as collateral damage for the greater thing, and there's no global warming back then.
Yeah.
So what was the damn
Yeah,
excuse?
yeah.
Just thought about that.
What'd you think about the long term and the short term?
Yeah, well,
I mean, what do you think, Pete?
the long term's cancer rates, respiratory problems would be short term, I'd say. Uh, I know cancer rates, you're basically eating metal, so digesting it, you're going to have probably stomach issues, ulcers, I'm assuming.
What do you think about the ones I said? I mean,
yeah.
with the long-term blood pressure problems and
Oh, yeah,
let to wear
yeah.
down immune system, and the short-term is
And
stomach
imagine
and
the
chest
blood
pains.
pressure, because when you know what's going on and still see it.
Well, yeah, and
happening.
then
wow.
meant to wear down our immune system.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe when I read that, and then
For what?
Yeah, I know. Why would you want to,
We're just testing you guys
We're
to
just
see
gonna-
how strong our
Well, you
great
know how many
country is.
people they've
No, I could
killed?
explain that. And where is it? 1977, the U.S. and Russia signed a weather modification treaty. This
Okay.
is on record.
Okay.
So they can't use weather weapons or experiments on other countries, but they could experiment on their own people
Okay.
domestically.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's why we're the guinea pig.
I was just amazed by long term and short term. You're just a short term. You're just gonna have stomach and chest pains.
Yeah.
No biggie. No biggie,
Heart
people.
attacks could lead from
Well,
that.
that's you know
high
that. Well,
blood pressure.
that was just like the simple,
Yeah.
simpleness of their terms of stomach and chest pains. They're not gonna give us every detail. Of course, you're gonna be smart enough to think of, okay, if you're getting chest pains and and stomach pains, now we're talking heart attacks.
Yeah.
And then with the stomach area, you never know.
You never know, yeah.
You never know with the stomach area.
And people wonder why we have all these increased, problems health-wise, and then, hey, yeah, let's just have the government run the healthcare system, too.
Yeah. No, I know.
Like, I mean, we can't even, literally control them with, domestic planes, they're flying over without trying to kill us with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we're supposed to trust them. No, yeah, run my healthcare program.
See, I was shocked because I really never knew about chemtrail. I mean, I knew a little bit about
They're
it.
so, demonized.
Yeah, no,
it's-
I really didn't know too much. I'm not saying I didn't know anything, people. I just didn't know a lot about it. I knew just a little bit about it, and then when I actually researched it, for our show today, and because of the question we had, remember
we had
the
many
remember the email?
But
Remember
yeah,
the
one of
email-
the questions you chose
Yeah,
last week.
yeah. They wanted us to mention the
And
chemtrails.
we dug deep.
And then I was like, okay, you know what? One of our viewers or listeners, wants to know about the chemtrails and non-trails, and I'm like, okay, I'm really gonna get into this. And then
Yeah.
when I got into this, it was sickening, and
Yeah.
how corrupt it is,
It is. Yeah.
and then it ties into
To-
the weather modification
Yep.
and all that, and
It all ties in. See, that's
it's
what is so important about this transmission is we're about to play a clip in like a minute of Alex Jones breaking this down.
yeah, he'll
But
break it. Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
go to that next step and break it down for you, like how that relates to HARP, because I've gotten questions about that, about HARP, how this relates to the Indonesian tsunami. I mean how this relates to a lot of weird things have happened weather-wise, and it's crazy because the chemtrails play a role in a grand, wider scheme of literally playing God.
Yeah, look at our weather right now. I mean, just the pattern over the years,
That
what we used to have in weather and now what we have going
yeah,
on.
we have no spring anymore. It goes from winter to like summer.
I
And
remember I remember way different weather before, and then
growing up, yeah.
growing up, and now it's so bizarre.
Even like I coached high school football and things like that. Like in the summer, it was like freezing cold. Like
Yeah.
remember playing and it was like 100 and some degrees in like 2001,
Yeah,
2002.
yeah.
And they've been preaching this global warming. What that does is that like basically blocks out the sun. So
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
causing this cooler temperature.
And
I have an article where a guy makes a great statement. You and I have never lived in normal weather.
oh
You know,
wow.
think about that.
Yeah.
We have
yeah.
never lived a day in our life without the government doing something
They
to
go
the weather.
yeah, because they go so far back.
You
And,
know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we've never seen natural weather.
Wow. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I understand where you're coming from
That's
too.
heavy
Yeah,
to think
yeah,
about.
no, it is. It
You
is.
know? So even what we view as weather is actually made in our perception has been given to us by the government.
By the government, because it goes so far back that we think it's our normal weather, and then it keeps changing on us, but it's really not
Yeah.
our normal weather.
And that was even caught that day, I think it was in August, late August of 2013, an EMP burst right prior to the trees getting knocked down and all that.
yeah.
You guys could look it up. Anyone could go to our weather radar site and type in, or just Google EMP burst over Chicago, August 2013.
Or when what year was it when we got the snow?
Oh, it's
The recent one.
the
recent
in
the
years,
latest one.
I think that was last year, wasn't
No, it
it?
was
Or
a few-
two
no,
years,
it was a
two or
few-
3 years ago.
three,
Because my
two-
dad was still alive.
Ye-
It was like snowing in like May still, and we had, or was it not May?
I'm talking when you couldn't.
Yeah,
When you
that was
couldn't.
2012.
Was it
2011.
2011?
Yeah, 2011.
What do you think? How do you think that happened?
Yeah, and then look at this. We literally didn't have a day, like it went from snowing to like 40 degrees out to another snowstorm to like.
I love this how we have 70
Yeah.
in the 70s, and then next day it's snowing.
Snowing.
It's like, and then how are we jumping from 70s and then boom, next day?
And there's been weeks where we haven't seen the sun.
Exactly.
And think about that. Does your body need sun? Crops need sun. That attacks the economy, attacks the farmers, but attacks us and our personal happiness.
Yeah.
I didn't think about
Well,
that.
if it attacks, all right, the farmers, then it attacks the commodities that are
Exact-
trading with
trading.
with trading with the border trade.
Yep. So I mean, they're not gonna. It's like a casino. They're not gonna set it up unless they could rig the game.
Yeah.
You know. So if
It's weird how it's all connected, with the weather. It will affect the farmers, which then it'll affect the traders. And my bad, not Chicago Board of Trade, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Sorry
which
about that,
Alex
people.
talks about.
Yeah, no,
actually,
yeah, but how it affects just everyone. It's a domino effect, basically.
really
it's
is.
the domino effect.
Perfect way to describe.
Is that
yeah.
is that a good way to?
And it goes across the whole world.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know?
big domino effect.
A lot of this is the UN too, kind of saying, "Hey, you don't want to play along with us? We control the weather." I mean, like literally, who made you God?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I find that like as like a crime as a Christian. I mean, who are we to determine what the weather should be like? You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're
But
controlling
yet
it.
earthquakes are still going off and this and that. If they have the power to do this, why don't they stop them?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they're triggering them. And actually, like the one in Indonesia had no earthquake to set off the tsunami, and people saw the northern lights in
Yeah,
Indonesia.
yeah. No,
First time
I remember
ever
reading
recovered
about that.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and how do you explain that? You know,
And this is what we're
they
used
probably
to.
just tested out, I believe, HARP that day.
Yeah.
And, oh, there's, you know, that's kind of what we're looking for. Collateral damage, well, that works.
I just love how this is what we're used to. This is normal for
Yeah.
us, in essence.
But
You know what
I'm
I'm
right.
saying?
We shouldn't be, but you're right.
This is like, okay, this is normal. This is not normal, people.
No.
This is not normal. But for us right now,
Who gave us the right to be God, play God?
yeah, no, that's basically what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
know?
they can cause rain, they can cause water in the lakes, in the oceans, high water, you know, water.
They could set a bomb off. They could literally, with electromagnetic pulse, set an earthquake off in the ocean and cause a tidal wave. They could cause a tsunami. They could set a volcano off with electromagnetic.
Well, with the water and the higher water rising. Because that's a problem with the water rising.
Exactly.
I can't even. We could go on and on and
on and on, and it all relates. And Al Gore has nothing to do with us, okay? It has everything to do with you people.
Yes,
you should be paying us for the damage.
Oh, I remember when
not us paying you with carbon tax.
I remember when I was researching, Al Gore came into play with that, and I was like, "What is going on here?" Yeah,
I hate that guy. I mean, I actually liked him and felt bad what happened to him, but he is making a living off of bullshit.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think he might actually believe it. That's the sad thing, is that he actually, I think, believes his own made-up little version of what's going on.
Sick in the head?
Like, not even just ill-informed to the facts.
Oh, okay.
And then even if he were to find it out now, it would hurt his wallet.
Yeah.
So it's in his best interest to maybe not know what's
Let's just pretend that it's okay. And
Hey, everything's great, people. But for everyone out there who want to know more about chemtrails specifically, we're going to play this clip right now of Alex Jones breaking it down.
And he's the man that can, break it down for you people.
Hey, Danny, you want to roll that Alex Jones clip for us? This video, I recommend you guys watch it because it also has, literally video of chemtrails next to contrails. Right?
Yeah.
So the video is titled Alex Jones on chemtrails / bioengineering.
Very wise man. Very wise man.
Check it out. We'll be right back. Finish this subject up, wrap up, and tell you how it all ties in.
Thank you, people.
Stay tuned to The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah, buddy.
Total global government program that's hiding in plain view that they call testing. Department of Energy here in the U.S., set up in Europe as well, spraying, mixed in with the jet fuel in some of the cases, mounted to government aircraft, all admitted. Not condensation trails, ice crystals, no. But barium salts, aluminum dioxide, other nuclei mixed in so that it creates an artificial haze. And NASA admits we're more than 20% darker, less sunlight hitting us. You don't just think they put that in the Matrix movies, 10 years ago because they thought that up about a global plan to black out the sun. But the scourge isn't the machines, it's us. This is part of the UN says if you don't play ball with them, they'll just spray you and shut down your weather. Now, here's my frustration. I knew they were going to announce global government with this European crisis years ago. It's now happened. I know all of this. I know they're spraying us every day. I know they're spraying my family. I know we're all filled with heavy metals. I know it's hurting us. And Aaron Dykes, I asked him last Friday, I said, get together our research for Dark Skies, the documentary. We may make it someday, but we're just going to go ahead and start releasing the information and reports. This is just a small part of it right here. Government documents, hour after hour of them on video. Okay? And then I just said, look, he was literally out there 20 minutes ago before we went live. I said, get in here. We got to present what you've got. All these video clips, all this documentation, it's so frustrating. Will the yuppies even watch? Will they even care? because you get into how they denied this stuff existed, but the people that broke down what they were doing accurately named the chemicals that were being used. But the question is, how long has it been happening? Why is it happening? What's the end game? I'll tell you the end game here at the first. We'll go to Aaron. The end game is aluminum dioxide in all the soils. You've got to go to companies like Monsanto that are coming out with whole seed lines that will grow in aluminum poisoned soil. But that's only part of it. It's about the seed banks, the seed arcs, all of this. It's about weather weapons, shutting down regions that don't play ball. They're already talking about a Chicago mercantile system that will bet on the weather. Well, it's going to be a rigged casino. They don't set up casinos without putting their finger on it, without controlling it. This is about playing God. This is about world government. And this is about genocide and population reduction. Aaron, I'm going to interject points here, but we've only got about 25 minutes, and we'll come back and do part 2, part 3, part 4, because this is so important. It shows how they can keep something bigger than the Manhattan Project secret. We expose it over the years accurately, and they come out and go, yeah, okay, we've been doing it, it's secret, but it's for your own good. And we admit it's happening, but the details are secret. So you've got the floor. Go through as much as you can, the video clips, all of it. This is incredible information.
Yeah, just like you saw back in the 70s with Kissinger and the food as a weapon plans under national security, you see global warming and chemtrails under a national security proposal. And you'll see a lot of the quotes here of Kissinger talking about food as a weapon. Is the U.S. prepared to accept food rationing to help people who can't or won't control their population growth? They're talking about withholding food aid. Would food be considered an instrument of national power? You've heard the Club of Rome talking about how mankind itself is the enemy when it comes to environmental concerns like global warming and the rest of it. The real enemy is mankind. That is from the 1990s with the Club of Rome group. And then coming up at
that was the head of the CFR, too. He's also Club of Rome. That was Haas saying that.
Oh, these groups all interlock, Alex. And you see here where the Air Force wants to, quote, own the weather by 2025 and more to use it against the enemy and to help their own forces. And it goes on to, it's not cued properly, but Secretary of Defense William Cohen admitting that weather weapons exist, that they can create hurricanes, earthquakes, and the rest of it. So this stuff is admitted, but it is hidden behind a national security pretext, Alex.
Is that the right document?
Well, you've got weather as a force multiplier, owning the weather 2025, and after that is the quote about William Cohen and how they are able to use weather weapons.
Well, take your time. I know I said we're in a hurry, but take your time as we get to these.
Global warming has been called a security threat because it's going to disrupt all these places where there could be droughts or food shortages, and you can guess who's going to be there to create the solution. Here you've got William Cohen saying others are engaging in a type of eco-terrorism where they can alter the climate, set off earthquakes, volcanoes remotely through the use of electromagnetic waves. It's real. That's the reason we have to intensify our efforts. He said that in 1997 when he was Secretary of Defense.
That was Army times, Jim.
And the point is, all these military researchers, all these national security people are able to manipulate the weather. They're spraying God knows what up there. We know what some of it is. A lot of it's aluminum and sulfur dioxide and the rest of it. But they've created this rationale that it's going to solve global warming. Now let's go.
That's just their cover. They always denied it until 3 years ago. Now they go, we were doing it, but it's secret. It's to save the earth. We're peaceniks. We're Peace Prize winners.
Yeah. And they admit one of the leading researchers of this whole geoengineering thing is David Keith, and he's got a paper explaining how the cloud seeding for the U.S. and for the Soviet Union goes back to the 20s. And we have clips, I know, from Ben Livingston, if we want to play some.
Ready to go? Yeah, this is Ben Livingston, who was the father of weather weapons. And I saw in a little blurb in an article when they declassified that in the mid-'60s they'd certified Stanford, and he'd done it as a meteorologist. This is a guy in like World War II flying into typhoons. I mean, he's a real trailblazer. It was like almost, I think it was 90 when I interviewed him. I think he's still alive, but yeah, this was like 6 years ago. And, you know, the point with Livingston was they could control, steer, create hurricanes in the 60s. So it just shows how far this stuff's come. Let's go ahead and go to that clip.
My name is Ben Livingston. I'm the first person to ever see the cloud with the intention to cause it to do military damage. I know I can say that, and I did it several times before the next person did it. We were doing quite a lot of testing work out over the test range at China Lake, California, where we drop cloud seeding flares or silver iodide generators into clouds or just where we wanted to see what the reaction was. And it was there when I learned for sure that you could really change a cloud by the amount of silver iodide you put in and where you put it. These are cloud seeding dispensing units on the side of C-130s. As you can see, these units held 52. These dispensers held 52 units. We were the first ones to fly into hurricanes for the purpose of modifying them, if you will. That was Project Storm Fury. I began to be extremely confident that we could do whatever about what we wanted to with a hurricane. The Project Storm Fury had been going on since 1961, and they had already done, or had done, 2 experiments, one in 61 and 63. Well, by 1964, when I was there in 1964, I wrote the plan and started to have a track and a mission for every flight that was on the hurricane cloud seeding experiments. So we had documentation for everything. Operations of Project Storm Fury are very positive. His report said that we claim they should consider now.
Okay, that's just a short excerpt from an interview I did 6 years ago with Ben Livingston, the father of weather weapons. We're just demonstrating this exists, the cloud seeding, how they do it, moving right along, back to Aaron Dykes, because this is all going on, and you're supposed to just worry about football all day or what Lindsay Lohan's doing. I'm sorry, because what they admit they're spraying is brain damaging the population, as neurological disorders go off the charts, as the honeybees die, you name it. Aaron Dykes, continue with your report while we show some footage of videos we were sent from around the world of the geoengineering program.
But Alex, you said this is brain damage. I guess remember, this is all for global warming. It's for our own good. And so you've got all these seemingly wacky proposals to shoot air balloons that spray stuff in the atmosphere, to have little ships that float on the ocean and spray stuff in the atmosphere, to put a hose up into the atmosphere, to have solar reflective things and orbiting the Earth in outer space.
They're just setting the precedent that they control weather.
Yeah, and you've heard them talk about how they want to control the space for the 21st century fight. This is all part of that. It's cloaked under national security and this global warming excuse. And among their other crazy plans is this albedo's plan to inject particles into the atmosphere and the stratosphere to reflect the radiation. Now, that alone will cause a disruption with the radiation forcing, which will change the weather perhaps in unpredictable ways. They know that, but they're still pursuing it because it's their best cover story.
Chemtrails is only one part. They've got the magnetic field generators they now admit in China, Dubai, other places that are just copies of HAARP that are energizing the atmosphere.
But naturally, people have seen the stuff sprayed into the sky, asked questions about it, and as they're proven correctly, want to know more. Well, it all falls under this albedo's plan. I know we have all these clips here about global dimming and about how shooting sulfur into the atmosphere is going to help that process, and it goes on from there.
But isn't it more trendy just to be into acting cool? I mean, why should we even worry about this? Oh, here's some more articles. Yeah, the solar shield. Now that we've exposed this, oh, we are doing it. We're saving you. We've just been testing it.
Yeah, and they're doing it. And here you see Bill Gates. He not only wants to steer hurricanes, but he's funding the plan to shoot stuff into the atmosphere.
Yeah, none of us have property rights. None of us don't have a right to not breed this because the little control freak chicken neck eugenicist who daddy runs Planned Parenthood says we're going to breathe it.
So you see again and again academic papers about modifying clouds, creating artificial clouds. You can read them for yourself. You've got preventing global warming by increasing cloud albedo. This is just a few selections because, as you saw, there's literally hundreds of documents. But here, Paul Crutzen, he won a Nobel Prize, and he's very much at the forefront of this whole thing. He's talking about albedo enhancement through stratospheric sulfur injection. He admits they're going to shoot sulfur particles into the stratosphere and atmosphere to try to cool the planet. And that's one of the main proposals that's tied to this spraying from the planes, because you've also got this one from Jay Gorman about how the stratospheric injection of aerosols can be done with fuel additives, aviation fuel additives. The paper describes the selection and preliminary testing of chemicals that might be used as aviation fuel additives to inject these products, sulfur dioxide and micron-sized silica particles, into the stratosphere from commercial or military aircraft. They admit they're testing it, and when it's tested, they have...
Well, this whole program they call testing, well, when is it coming up where they admit they mix it with the jet fuel, the patents?
This is the one right here. Atmospheric testing could be started almost immediately. Separately, there's other patents where they kind of sketch out ways that they can mix powder and create contrails, such as this one.
Here, guys, let's hit pause on that. Incredible job, Aaron. You've really overdone it as usual. You're calling this just the tip of the iceberg. This is quite an iceberg. Yeah, here's some of the patents on the jet engine and how it disperses the sulfur dioxide, the aluminum dioxide, so you can enjoy the massive increases in neurological disorders now plaguing everyone. And this is an InfoWars article from just about a year ago, back last December. And then it lists all the patents, 1619183204585. I mean, folks, don't.
I think there's literally a couple hundred patents.
Yeah, I mean, don't. Listen, spend your time. I know TV said it was a conspiracy theory. Why don't you go to the U.S. Government Patent Office? I mean, really, learn.
But then people are going to nickel and dime that this wasn't the one they chose to go with. The point is, they have massive amounts of researchers.
The point is, they admit they're testing it. When we learned the name of the passive aerosol program, we found out it's huge. It's going on. All I know is 15, 16 years ago, trails didn't sit there all day. They admit our Earth's dimming from this. Let's continue. Hurry. There's so much more.
Well, there is a whole lot more. We have right now a clip from John P. Holdren, the Obama White House advisor, and then from Paul Crutzen, the guy who won a Nobel Prize for helping to push this.
We're going to get to that in a minute, but have we covered this global dimming plan yet?
Yeah, we just played most of it.
Okay, let's play Holdren and the loving Nobel Prize winner. This is the current White House science czar. They come up with this in the early 90s. They implement it right away with your tax money. A bunch of control freaks playing God. Here it is.
We have to keep geoengineering on the table. We have to look at it very carefully because we might get desperate enough to want to use it. The danger, of course, with geoengineering is the one I was referring to a moment ago. We don't understand the system well enough to predict its responses in detail.
In the first place, we have to reduce the emissions of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And what can we do then? If that is the case, then maybe we are forced to do something in the stratosphere, and that is to deposit sulfur in the stratosphere. Sulfate-containing particles in the atmosphere reflect solar radiation that will cool the Earth. And artificially, we can think of bringing sulfur in the stratosphere at altitude 25 kilometers, where they then would lead to sulfate particle formation and cooling of the Earth.
Incredible, Aaron. They bring up this made-up crap about global warming or any climate change is unusual, and it's really just their excuse when you get deeper in the documents for weather warfare against the third world. But just like Obama's the peace president waging war, it's just a total cover story.
Yeah. I mean, for example, they were going to shoot laser particles to blast away the CFCs back in the late 80s and stuff. I mean, take, for example, this out of Porton Down, where somebody wrote asking about the open-air release of zinc cadmium sulfide in the 50s and 60s, and they say, yeah, we're sorry, but the military reserves the right to open-air test really anything they please.
Yeah, that's U.S. Code Title 50, Chapter 32, subsection 1528. Let's show a document cam of this. Here's over in England, and they go, yeah, we spray deadly stuff on you. Yeah, we spray deadly stuff on you. Suck it. Die. We fry little foster kids in microwave ovens. You bet. Now die, sheep. Pay that tax money. We love you. If you don't love us, you're a terrorist.
Yeah, and so now we got this whole global warming thing falling apart at the seams. The cover story's busted on that, but they still want to push this geoengineering thing as a solution to a problem a lot of people know is phony. Now, the whole point is they've had hearings in the U.S. and the U.K. on regulating it, and they all call for global solution, and it's all mirrored off of the same proposals that funneled through the Council on Foreign Relations, through various universities.
Club of Rome back in the 60s?
Yeah, and a handful of scientists like David Keith and Ken Caldera have been steering this through all the different science groups getting hearings, but always just pushing for let them test, do not ban, and let's have global coordination. Let's cue up the clip now where the Holdren plan correlates with the CFR plan.
Obama science chief eyes drastic climate steps. Thank goodness he's there to save us. Of course, he says he wants to reduce world population by at least 80% and put chemicals in the water to sterilize us. Obama's plan to geoengineer the planet mirrors CFR policy documents. But aren't we lucky we have these guys? I mean, he says he wants to kill us. It's very nice of him, though. But I guess he can't kill himself yet because he has to carry out the plan first. It's very nice of him, though. And he's so incredible with Bill Gates. Yeah, there's the CFR plan, unilateral engineering.
And these are the same plans with everyone. Shoot reflective particles into the upper atmosphere, add more clouds in the lower atmosphere, place reflective objects in space. Extremely expensive and stupid.
But then we're not supposed to notice any of this going on, though.
Change the terraform of the Earth. Change the shading of things on the Earth.
But notice, Aaron, the old-timers 18 years ago did the testing in the atmosphere and said these exact chemicals. And then they were proven right, and it's going on, and the Earth's getting dimmer. And the neurological disorders are going up, and we've covered in our report that Paul did, all the universities, people saying aluminum's going up, we don't know why, and all the soil. And then after we expose all this, they go, yeah, we're doing it for the Earth, but the details are classified.
But that's good if they dim the Earth. They're more intelligent than we are.
Well, exactly. Well, they know they like to kill us. I mean, they said so. We're scum.
Yeah.
Well, they're really killing us, but it's kind of a nice little thing. They're saving us, Aaron.
But that's the gravy, I think, is you've had stuff like...
You're not loving like they are?
Kucinich, among others, wrote the bill back in 2001, you know, calling to ban or restrict exotic weapons, including high-frequency weapons that allegedly also didn't exist at one point, as well as, quote, chemtrails, the little buzz
But we did
term.
show the defense secretary admitting they have them.
But now they are holding hearings on geoengineering, which does exist officially now, and they're telling us how good it will be when they regulate it globally, Alex, either using the places that already exist through the United Nations or creating a new.
But I drew a smiley face on it. It's loving.
Well, if we could play the clips now about the international global accords to hold hearings on geoengineering. Government report calls for global authority on planetary geoengineering. That was Steve Watson reporting on it at Prison Planet. And it just gets into all these hearings.
There's the actual report.
Yeah, this one's from the UK, the House of Commons, regulating geoengineering. Sounds like they're really going to do something about it.
They're going to make sure they're allowed to spray us with one.
They go on to explain how they have a joint agreement with the U.S. and that their committees have gotten together and agreed on geoengineering. They recognize there could be dangers, of course, Alex, but they need an international regulatory arrangement for geoengineering, as you can see here. And
to make it all legal that they're killing us and cutting the water off
too.
to Africa and Latin America. Yeah.
And then here how currently it's not subject to regulation. They admit there's no regulation to the testing going on right now. That means they're doing it, Alex. If you read between the lines.
No, they admit they've been doing the testing. You can go pull up thousands of reports of it. But again, none of these documents exist. It's all a pipe dream.
But here's the regulations. More international regulation between the U.S.-UK deal. Here's from the House of Commons. They talk about the transboundary implications of dealing with these new technologies.
But as the CFR said, we'll just do unilateral global.
Yeah, well, they'll do both.
And they got drones bombing everybody anyways in countries killing them. I mean, why not?
They can't ban it or create a regulatory framework because the technology is not sufficiently predictable. And they explain, too, how cloud seeding will be included in this, and they're going to have to come up with a legalese definition for geoengineering. And again, what I'm showing is different reports that all call for international agreements. This one out of the Congressional Research Service. They had all kinds of different...
No, this goes on in the real world, and then we're all supposed to watch CNN and Fox and hear Glenn Beck make fun of us and tell us none of that exists. Kind of like there wasn't a Bank of the World or a CFR or a Bilderberg Group. Now they admit it all. But the global government's to save us, Aaron, run by the very banks that implemented it all.
And, of course, you know who's pushing all these genetically modified crops, the stuff they're pushing
that
on
sterilize
Africa.
all the animals that eat them, and we see our fertility dropping. But, again, these are nice people. I mean, they openly write papers about how they want to kill us. We should just trust them. I mean, everything's fine, Aaron. They have all these patents where they're mixing it with the jet fuel. I mean, so what? These are good people.
There's so many documents, it was really difficult to narrow
see, that's
down,
that last video was a contrail versus a chemtrail. See that? See, the real trail is dissipating. Amazing. Aaron, we're almost out of time. We'll do a part 2 on this. This is incredible. Run through the rest of it.
Well, that's all I have for today, really, but you can see where they admit the Earth is getting more dim by a significant amount.
What do you have in this little
chemtrails.
box?
Just hundreds of other proposals, academic papers, a few more patents.
But it doesn't exist?
A few more government hearings.
I mean, if you even question them geoengineering and say, gee, 18 years ago the trails didn't stay in the air, now they do, and gee, scientists went up in their own planes and tested it, it's aluminum dioxide, barium salts, and jeepers creepers, the government admits they're doing tests with these very things 18 years later. But we're not good because we were proven right, we're bad. Bad man.
It's about getting global approval to live your life, and that includes...
Well, I'm just thankful to all these chicken neck control freak eugenicists spraying my family with poison. Thank you, Ted Turner. Thank you, Bill Gates. Thank you, chicken neck Holdren. Thank you, Dr. Eric Pianka. All of you eugenicists, thank you for all your evil and your control freak. I mean, you just see human life, and it's the ultimate control freak thing. You just got to screw it all up. Thank you for all you've done. I suggest you line up first to get rid of yourselves. Oh, but you won't. You have to be guardians of the mass murder. Aaron, in conclusion, this is about toxifying the soils and coming out with GMO crops that can only live in it. That's all admitted. It's about having derivatives that bet on the weather and then they actually rig it and control it. Control casino. But it's mainly, as the memorandums you showed at the start, it's about population reduction. And they've said if you don't pay your IMF World Bank dues, even if you don't owe it, we're just going to shut your water off. And our public's going to watch football games and praise torture. We'll just say you're Al-Qaeda when millions of you starve to death. You understand? Pay us, we own you. And now they're taking the bank accounts of the American people. That is coming up with Joe Salente. And I guess, in a way, we're actually the bad people. 60 seconds, final summary.
Yeah, you remember the Simpsons episode where Mr. Burns blocks out the sun so he could sell electricity. It may not be the exact same thing going on here, but it's similar. They want to control all the important elements of the atmosphere, of our environment, of our lives, of our right to reproduce. Yeah, they want to kill us or make us pay to live, basically.
But we're lucky we have them. Aaron, take us to break. Salente's coming up. The beekeeper's coming up.
Look, there's a lot more. We're going
another extremist who's sad the bees are all dying. I mean, another part. It'll be good when the bees all die. The bakers know best.
Yeah.
Why not spray the little bees with aluminum?
And because they figured out a few things with DNA, it makes sense to modify our food and grow it in labs.
Well, see, that's the plan. After they kill everything, then they come back and re-engineer life with a patent. And that's what even Monsanto said about 12 years ago.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Well, what's wrong with that? These are loving people. Hey, you wonder why your 25-year-old wife's down to breast cancer? You wonder why your 3-year-old's getting a Parkinson's type disease? You wonder why cancer's up 3,000% and diabetes? Because these people are murdering us and they like it. And they think you're obsessed with football and your pedophile football leaders and the rest of them. And they think you're too weak to wake up and realize these psychos are attacking you. You know, people always think that tyrants are going to look like the last bunch. They're not going to look like Fidel Castro or Adolf Hitler or Joseph Stalin. They're going to look like John P. Holdren and David Rockefeller. You can either wake up to these tyrants and recognize them now, or they're going to win. I tried my best. Just an average Texan fighting hard. Incredible job to the crew, incredible dedication, and great job to all of you out there who support us. We couldn't do this without you. Get this video from InfoWars Nightly News at prisonplanet.tv and get it out to everybody. They're openly moving to start shutting down the web, as we covered earlier. This transmission must get out. If you're listening to us, you are the resistance. It's now up to you. I hand you the baton. You catch it. It's up to you. I can't do it without you. We're in this together.
All right, you're back with Johnny B. Good and Pete Wichert, and this is The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction, and that was Alex Jones breaking down chemtrails. And
yeah, very well spoken, too.
Good job, InfoWars, all the guys out there. You guys are the best. Alex Jones, good job once again. You're
Alex,
the best.
I give you props,
always. We're going to give you more props later.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And pretty much, like, honest to God, how this plays into the grand scheme. So they just went over a lot of it. I feel that there's a little more to it than even that, like with the lack of sun, like we brought up. The sun deprivation actually has been proven to make people depressed. They want us in this, like, can't do anything, helpless, like, you know, mood while blocking out the sun helps. Claiming global warming exists to experiment and play God is a good way to justify their experiments. And that's exactly what it is. And like, you know, Johnny covered, and these chemtrails cause brain damage, you know, lung cancer, and it gets in the crops in our bodies, and in your babies if you're pregnant, and then it just keeps going.
It just goes on and on and on.
Yep, and we need the sun, as our bodies do, and our plants, all that, to live, period.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So blocking it out, I'd rather have it be hot than an ice age.
Me too. I agree with
You
you.
know, and all the footage they show of the ice caps melting is like in summer when it naturally happens.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
So over a lie of global warming, we are now pretty much destroying our population and our planet. And we only have one of those, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
One planet.
One planet, and we can't go anywhere.
No, well, at least we can't. But Robert Bigelow owns a private space
Well,
station.
yeah,
And
yeah.
other people, I'm sure, have places to go, but we can't.
Well, we don't have the money. We have a high class, middle class. Well, not even middle.
Yeah.
There's not even middle. It's
I'd
like
say the middle class is destroyed. We
It's
have,
destroyed by now. We have
1%. We have people that are pretty much well off and then poor.
Yeah, I take that back with the middle. We have our high class and middle class is destroyed, like you said, and then we have our low class or our decent.
Because even people like $1 million now, like small business owners, people think, oh, that's rich, but the taxes, not really.
No.
The 1% with hundreds of billions of dollars, that's rich, okay?
Oh yeah.
And so what happens is they put these particles, silver iodine and stuff like that, as the pilot testified, as you just heard, and they could put in this place and it'll cause rain, this place it'll cause clouds. Well, there's recent articles from like AP even talk about how they could use lasers to move clouds. So, okay, now you put the silver to iodine so you can make it rain, snow, hail, and move it to what theoretically would be a place of drought, maybe. But instead, they seem to be causing drought, causing flooding, causing earthquakes, and it's very, very simple. HARP, it's in Tacoma, Alaska. I believe it's a array of, I have the exact number, but 160 some antennas, and it shoots either up or down, and it blasts 1 billion plus watts into the ionosphere.
Wow.
And charges either the ionosphere, or it could shoot down and trigger earthquakes. And a lot of people believe, well, it's a fact. When HARP is set up and it goes off, and by the way, HARP, if you anyone listening wants to research this, it's called the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. It's in southeastern Alaska. It's 360 antennas linked together to basically work as one.
Okay.
And we started developing this in the military to basically do good. The guy who actually developed it, he passed away, but his son, speaking out, he was trying to, bring rain to places that were in drought.
Yeah.
Even a missile defense system, things like that. And the military took complete control of it. And he passed away and was like livid, that they weaponized something he was turning into a defensive mechanism,
And you think they used it the same way?
No, I admit that.
Exactly.
And
Why am I not surprised that the military didn't use it the same way he wanted to use it?
Yeah, just like with Nikola Tesla and the free energy. And
I know that was a stupid question, Pete, but I just had to say that.
You would think that maybe for once they might do something, but no. When we do find one thing they do for good, we will report it.
Just maybe, people. I knew the answer to my question. I just had to, I had to be stupid about it. Sorry about that.
But yeah, so I mean, this thing heats the ionosphere, and then we have literally experimented with hydrogen bombs in space, blowing them up. Then all of a sudden, satellites fly through a hole, and people are like, "Why is this happening?" Well, let's see. You're shooting literally energy up through the ionosphere. You're burning a hole in it. That's like our shield from asteroids and space debris,
Yeah.
And they're destroying that. There's no way around that. So then now you have the silver, right? So with the electromagnetic waves, microwaves now, you could and you can't detect these things. You can't see them with your own eyes. They shoot up again or shoot down. Shooting down could trigger an earthquake if they go to an unstable area and shoot it at the plates. and the plate tectonics are already working and moving, they could trigger it by that. They could do that in a volcano. And the cloud seeding thing, they makes them pretty much, because it's metallic, be able to move a cloud in any way they want, and where they place the actual material in the cloud, pretty much gives them the opportunity to do what they want.
Okay.
So they could send thunder at you, and they could actually turn a thunderbolt into a 1 billion, watt destruction with the force of an atomic bomb, and put it over a country, and boom.
That's very, very scary.
This is all from their words again.
Yeah, I know.
Not mine.
I know.
This is just what they are theorizing it could do, and then they later concluded that it could do these things. That's why in 1977, Russia and the U.S. actually met to sign a treaty to not use weather weapons against, So we're the guinea pig. But yeah, so the ground-based systems, which were supposed to be for like missile defense, and the ELF, the electronic low frequency, they could actually control your mind.
Wow.
With the same things they control the clouds with. We talked about. So the people in HARP or in Alaska up there, they're all afraid of this place. No one will talk on air about it.
I would be too. I would be afraid.
Jesse Ventura went to investigate it. They let you in every 2 years, and that's it. And they're supposed to be studying the northern lights for the last like 20-some years.
Okay.
How much longer, And the guy's like, yeah, we do a lot of cool science down here. And Jesse's like, well, we contacted everyone. They won't let us in.
Yeah.
So he goes, I'm asking you to step back from the property.
Okay.
Oh. And he goes, when I get denied, I get pissed off.
Jesse.
And the first weird thing is that he kept ringing the bell to get him out. He shows up in a helicopter. So that way he could get there. And he's ringing it, and they just shut the bell off. Like, the bell stops working.
They shut the bell off?
Yeah, and he doesn't leave, but he's standing there, like screaming.
Jesse won't go nowhere.
Exactly.
He's not going anywhere.
He was waiting until somebody came out. So this fat, loser guy comes out and goes, this is exactly what he says. Hey, Jesse, if you were down here in Tacoma and we were at a bar and you asked me, hey, you want to check out HARP? I would love to just take you up. We could talk about it. And he goes, okay, so you're telling me if I drop the cameras, they'll take me in. That's the exact opposite of what I'm saying. There's no chance that will happen.
What is it?
And Jesse just will not leave. So guess what happens? Right when he's telling back up, get away.
Yeah.
All of a sudden their cameras and their audio's like, and he's like, this is more than unclassified. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they clearly could pinpoint just his cameras. You know what I'm saying? Just the doorbell. Turn it off. I mean, that shows you right there. So, yeah, it has mind control possibilities, and Dr. Nick Begich demonstrated this to the governor and to the European Parliament, where he put, a cassette player with, those things you get, like EKGs and, muscle stimulate,
Yeah, the pads.
Yeah, he put the pads on Jesse's neck and broadcasted a sound to his head through his neck using microwaves, as a crude demonstration of how they could actually implant thoughts, voices, and control what you think. So it has that capability. So it blasts the sky, which is never good, could control your mind, could cause earthquakes, volcanoes. Should this HARP thing be in existence? And then here's the thing, all other countries are now mocking it and building them.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it shouldn't even exist.
From what you're telling me, I'm not hearing any good on this. This is not positive one bit.
And that's their main thing. It does a hum. People have caught it on air. It's like like that.
Yeah.
And literally, you see the northern lights, and that's the same thing they reported in Indonesia before the giant tsunami. They had no earthquake to trigger it.
Oh wow.
Coincidence again?
Oh, well, I doubt it.
I mean, that is speculation on our part. That they don't admit to, but coincidence, you tell us,
Yeah, right.
I call BS, but 773 is our number. Slam Internet Radio. Talk, call live. Talk to the truth is stranger in fiction. Pete Wichert, Johnny Be Good. Tell us what you feel about anything. how your Saturday's going. you
Yeah,
know.
we'd like to know how your Saturday's
But
going.
again, it's 773-657-3341.
3341.
41. Okay, please call.
Call in.
But yeah, so I mean, we got this, which moves the clouds. We got them doing this basically, like that guy said. We haven't ever lived a day in our life of natural weather, man. Not one day.
No.
And you know, people have recorded the sound. They've felt the ground shaking. They thought it was like earthquakes when they send this thing down. I mean, when they send it up, you hear the hum, but you don't see the wave. When they send down, you feel it. You know, and there's videos of a lady calling the police because she thinks there's an earthquake going on, and I believe she's in Florida, and it's impossible. And she sees the clouds, and has a really clear video of the whole situation. But it's owned by the Air Force, and we all know that the military only invests money into something for one purpose:
No, of course.
destruction.
Yeah, no, of course.
So
What else would they invest in? I mean,
you know, for 20-some years, they're studying the Northern Lights and putting billions of dollars into this program.
I mean, how stupid can you be? What would the military, invest in?
I mean, I think they care about us. They want to give water to Africa.
They wanna help us out. They wanna, yeah,
Because
okay.
we're so bad, evil, racist, polluting people.
Terrorists.
And terrorists, I forgot, who love liberty.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Land
just
of the free.
I just love the word terrorist. We are terrorists.
Domestic
Ooh.
terrorists.
The-
For
oh, my bad.
homeland security.
Domestic
I thought, I mean, I think like we woke up and we're in like Nazi Germany. Homeland.
Yeah, I know.
Fourth Reich, America, the Fourth Reich. Mein Führer, President Führer Barack Obama.
It's like, what's going on here?
Hussein Obama.
Obama, you are killing me.
Obama.
You're killing me, Obama.
Obama, man, do executive order.
Obama needs to do something.
Do an
here.
executive order out, pretty much banning the existence of HARP, and then maybe we could talk.
Well, Obama's just
I've been ignoring his calls lately.
Obama needs to do something. He's a puppet. He's a puppet,
is.
he's a puppet.
And the next person, Bush was a puppet. I mean,
yeah, Bush is also.
and we need to find the guy pulling the strings, the puppet master.
Yeah.
And if we all expose one of these global elites, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And each person is focused on like Brzezinski, Kissinger, and just attacked it, did research, and pulled up everything they said, we would end these people. And Obama, too. I mean, my God, the guy's a constitutional lawyer. The reason being because he knows how to destroy the Constitution, not because he wanted to protect it.
Of course.
They wanted to get a guy, like they'll get a doctor often in like China to cut you open and steal your liver and sell it.
Yeah.
You know, to Japan, and they're death vans, literally. And President Obama, pretty soon, we're going to have death vans going here to stimulate the economy, but they're going to be called life vans. And they're going to, and it's going to be good for the people, and we need to accept that our livers, we don't own them. You didn't build that.
It's not my liver.
It's the people's liver. Just like your business, you didn't
My
build.
liver inside me,
It's
I
the
don't.
people. Just
I
like
don't-
if you owned a business, you didn't build that. Someone else did it for you. Quote from Barack Hussein Obama. It's not your liver. It's Henry Kissinger's 15th transplant.
That's ridiculous.
You know? It's the truth. I mean,
I know it's the truth.
you
and
didn't build that.
It's so ridiculous.
It's not yours. We gave that to you, Johnny. Be good.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Take my liver. I don't own it.
But finishing up on, pretty much because we spent a lot of time on this. I mean, check out HARP for yourself. You could check out the 1970 Defense Department, like, hearing on this. And just be aware that they are spraying silver, iodine, and other chemicals via jet fuel. There's government patents. You don't have to, they can't make those classified. You could look it up yourself and see that they're There's literally diagrams online of
They don't hide
the
it.
patents.
They
Yeah.
do not hide it.
At all. You could look on page 57 of the 63 documents the government doesn't want you to know about. One of Jesse's book, he has it in there. And, you know, like, pretty much be aware that we don't know what weather is.
Exactly.
Natural weather.
Well, yeah, natural weather.
You know, and that, to me, that's scary. And 1966, there's another document. This is the last thing we're in touch about. And pretty much this is from Dan Wigington, Associated Editor of the U.S. Independent. And I suggest you read this document because, honest to God, it'll answer all your questions. It basically outlines the weather modification programs, and it says it goes back to 1956. We've tracked it further back, but that's like Congress hearing, you know? So imagine today we can't even have a Benghazi hearing with like Clinton, but yet they sat down and talked about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they even said a rapidly increasing mountain of data makes it ever more clear that almost none of us alive today have known completely natural weather. I mean, this is by Dan Wigington from the U.S. Independent. I thought he hit the nail on the head.
Oh, yeah.
And,
No, yeah,
you know,
oh, yeah.
And the massive covert government program has been playing God with the biosphere for probably 60 years or more. Or more is the answer on that. That in the most recent years, the scope and scale of the devastating weather modification programs have been ramped up so much that the entire climate system and biosphere is at stake. The lethal nature of the ongoing geoengineering programs cannot be overstated. Life on our planet is quite literally in the balance. I mean, I think that is so well worded.
Yeah.
Geoengineering must be brought into the light and then to a halt. All are needed to assist in this simple but all important effort. I couldn't break it down better.
Yeah,
Great
no, I
job,
agree.
Dan.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, I mean, we got for YouTube viewers the actual diagrams, lasers, and things like that. But we broke it down for you to the point where you should get it because this is very, very complicated and technical. But I mean, for the viewers just to see, that's right there a weaponized lightning bolt. Right there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I mean, honest to God, what they're doing that we don't know about is quite frankly scary. So it's time to at least call them out on what we know. And that's my final point on that. Because it just came out. I mean, www.osa-opn.org has laser-based weather control. And their big paper, they're talking about the far-fetched concept of weather control just might be in our scientific forecast. Researchers are making progress in using ultra-short laser pulses to create lightning and coup cloud formations with potential applications in agriculture, public safety, and beyond. So this article goes into explaining how great it is. So I don't even want to give them the privilege.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But just to show you that that's how open it is. Yeah, we have lasers that could control clouds, make it rain, and make lightning, but you know, it's for your best interest, even though it might kill you.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. Oh, it might kill you.
So everybody, that's how it links together, is they have ground-based systems that are able to control the clouds after they have been seeded or poisoned, and it also is for population control, in my opinion. You know?
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
They feel we're overpopulating this earth, and the more they kill, the better in their eyes. And we're zombies to them. We're a nuisance. They only need enough to work.
We're guinea pigs, like you said earlier.
That's a good transition.
Well, you said it earlier. We're guinea pigs,
Yeah.
and I didn't get to comment on that. And I do agree with you fully. We are guinea pigs, and that is very messed
Scary.
up. It's scary, messed up, screwed up. There's a lot of words for it.
But that's a perfect transition because then what are they doing? Watching us at all times.
Of course, and we can get into that.
Yeah.
We can definitely get into that.
Like honest to God, everyone who's a fan heard the day Sean came on. Our last caller that day is a friend of ours, Paul, And his uncle was murdered right underneath one of these high-tech surveillance cameras, retina scanners. And they will not release any information, although they were on. Now, why would that be? Just give me anyone, 773-657-3341. Why would we have cameras in place and then someone gets killed underneath and they can't release any information?
Then we can't use them. Basically, they're not.
Yeah.
They won't release anything. That means they won't use them in the right way.
Well, what is the point of having them there? Do you know how much they cost?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was just. You're reading my mind. How much do they cost?
$250 million.
Exactly. We paid that much money
for just one camera, and look at how many we saw on our trip today.
And then they're useless.
Yep.
We pay all this money
for crime.
Yeah. And it's not being used, people. All this money.
And who pays for it? We do with our taxes.
Of course, it's not the government paying for it. It's us paying for it. And we can't even use it. It's not being used in the right way. If it's being used at all, it's not being used in the right way.
And here's how we know it isn't being used. The cameras are growing at a rapid and record pace. They're up everywhere. And crime is up. Like it was up even more until they legalized guns. But it's still up, and every day, mark my words, there is a murder in Chicago underneath a camera.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
And if they wanted to, they could probably, I would say, conservatively arrest or get at least good enough information, tips from the spy grid to solve at least 75% of all crime.
Yeah.
In at least Chicago, from what I could see.
My question is, why don't they? Are they too lazy? Do they not want to?
I could answer that.
What's the reasons?
Well, the reasons are the law enforcement actually don't get to get the information.
True.
They go to a national database, and they are mainly used for marketing.
Yeah. So they don't care. They really just
research.
Don't care. Yeah, they research. They don't care about us.
No. So you could get murdered right underneath one, and they're going to actually probably look into the research of human behavior instead of trying to solve the crime.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know what to say to that. That's what I can say to
And they're
wow.
like, why are they putting them up in places with 0% crime?
Yeah, that's another thing when you said that earlier.
In the state of economy we have nationally.
They're going to put it where there's, nice places and there's really no
need.
Maybe a little crime, and not much.
I'm surprised we haven't had a caller that, again, 1-773-657-3341 sticking up and say, hey, it's a revenue maker.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually the camera lights and speed cameras.
Yeah.
These are the longer white surveillance cameras.
People don't be afraid. Call us.
Although those are in the same database and based off of your pictures, like you've seen if you got it in the mail, they know who you are based off your license plate. They're tracking you. They want to know where you go, what you buy, who you see, so therefore they could then market products reflecting our behavior. That's the true purpose of these cameras. And because the government is so paranoid and they literally, think about your job being a politician.
Yeah.
It's to control the masses with the few.
Yeah.
And it's always been that way. And what better way to control your masses when you could watch and follow every single action they do?
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're there for.
But they do nothing.
No.
They do nothing for us.
For us. Yeah.
They watch and watch us. And just watch us.
Another thing about Building 7, you know how we have the Office of Emergency Management? So they basically get all the databases, all the records from where we go, or, that you're categorized, you're put into a data center, fusion center, as risk, this, that. They can track you with the new light post, the E-lamps.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have RFID chips in your driver's license. Every person does. And these things also register every time you pass one of them. So they know everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And most
Yeah.
people shop with what? Credit cards.
Of course.
And again, you're leaving a fingerprint here, you're going here, so they know everything you do.
It's a paper trail.
Yeah. Amazon admits they could actually send you what you're going to order on their website prior to you ordering it, based off of your internet activity.
I believe it. I believe it.
I mean, that goes to show you these cameras aren't there to help us, but we have to pay for them to watch us.
Yeah, to basically do nothing but watch us and research us.
Like
guinea
you said.
pigs. Guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs, yep.
We are guinea pigs, people.
Every now and then they like to put the they'll put a block right here and watch us hit that block, laugh, and see how we get around that specific problem. I mean, it's honest to God.
It's like lab rats.
Yeah, that's exactly what we are. We're living lab rats under the constant eye of Big Brother.
Yeah.
And that's
you can be a lab rat or a guinea pig. Choose.
Yeah. Or you could be, let's think of something bigger, a rabbit that just breaks down the damn whole setup of the rat trap and breaks out and frees people, and we put the scientists that are doing crazy experiments on the rabbits in jail for their experiments and breaking our constitution if rabbits had constitution.
I like how we're breaking this down with animals.
But you get what I'm saying, people. We need to wake the hell up and say enough is enough. We want our tax money back, okay, at least.
Or do something. Do
with
something about it. Stop watching us. Stop researching.
You're making enough money out the camera lights and the speed cameras. Why a $250 million camera, 4 or 5 at a intersection, and you're not gonna do nothing with it?
And so many cameras. There are so
popping
many cameras.
up every day.
So
and covert too, by the way. Like at night at like 4 in the morning when no one's up.
Like I said, by me, I didn't know. They just popped up out of nowhere. Or by me.
I mean, honest to God. And now you combine this, okay, these cameras going in here downtown with little suburbs, okay, with InfoGuard. This is a group of people that are business owners and things like that have 50 chapters in every state that are citizen spies. They receive money for reporting on their neighbors, their friends, their coworkers, and have been given the right to use deadly force in the event of martial law. And they are privy to information before politicians even.
Oh, wow.
Just, being on the spy list. So not only do they have the cameras, they have literally boots on the ground watching you, too, when you go into businesses. And there's 30,000 plus people. Then you combine the RFID chips, which are supposed to save you 10 seconds when you cross the border. Most of us don't even have passports. We're in the Midwest here. Why do we need them in our license? We're not going no borders.
No.
No,
usually no.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Of course, but what is 15 seconds? I'd rather not have the chip that could track me at all times to save 15 seconds.
I agree with you.
I
don't like being tracked.
And that's how they push it. And then to have kids that we covered, 2 weeks ago, kids, our parents watch your kids if they act out. Kids watch your parents. I mean, we're turning into Nazi Germany. Actually worse. Imagine what Hitler would do with all this stuff.
Yeah. If Hitler was here to this day.
I hate to say it, he actually probably would have had greater restraint against, at least on his own people.
Yeah.
He treated the Germans good. My family lived there, I could tell you. I don't agree with what he did to, other... But at least he cared about his people. Our elected officials don't even care about us,
He cared about his people, but what he did was
wrong.
Wrong.
But imagine what I'm saying. Give this to Hitler and put him in control of occupied territories with this technology.
Just leave the wrong part out and not do the wrong thing. That's basically,
and now you combine that with the people on the ground. You got every like business owner, literally given the right to use deadly force. You have to have a sign-in number, ID, and Gray Davis, governor of California, actually released a warning, a terror warning, based off information he received from his brother, a member of Infogard, prior to our elected officials having this information. I mean, that is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all private corporations.
Yeah.
The NSA, everyone, that's I think that's one thing that's lost in the Snowden thing is the NSA. Oh, NSA. No, these are private companies. Actually, over 70% of the intelligence is private companies. That's not the FBI, CIA. They do work with them. And IBM has a patent to track you basically 24/7. Your RFID chips could be hacked with a little simple reader that's like $20. And when you make a spying for-profit business, are you ever going to get rid of it?
No. No.
You know, because then you're hurting somebody in the
The
pocket.
word is profit.
Yep.
They're not gonna get rid of it if someone's making money. Like I said, the word is profit.
Yep. So then I would expect someone to say, "Well, I'll just stay in my house. They can't track me there." Well, say you call your friend and you read as this happened. This is actual story, or a bank, and you say, "Hey, you know the teller. Don't go downtown. They're doing a drill today. You know they're setting off a nuclear bomb." This guy said that word. Within 5 hours, he had the Secret Service at his house. It's Echelon, which is basically a satellite, and it picks up on keywords. Say you make a call to Russia, you're being listened to.
Yeah.
And they showed up and wanted to know, like, all this stuff. How did he know this? And this was available for anyone on the internet. And the Secret Service showed up based off a phone call.
Oh, wow.
So you can't escape at your house either. Your Xbox watches you. Your Xbox One.
Everything's watching you.
Your even Holder actually said your dish washer.
Yeah.
You know, your cable boxes.
Yep.
So you can't escape it, people. I mean,
And they're listening with the phones, your phones.
yeah. I mean, and who's to play God on what is the wrong keyword?
They want to play God.
I know. Yeah, you got me there, buddy.
They want to play God.
Yeah, we only spent 2 hours proving that already, but yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm just saying that was dumb, but they want to play God.
Yeah.
And that's what, plain and simple.
And here's the scary thing is the people playing God, 70% of the intelligence community, again, is private companies.
Yeah.
That's $50 billion, which go each year to these private companies. So say somebody happens to work for one of these and doesn't like you, he can watch you 24/7, and I guarantee you every person breaks some kind of law, whether you know it or not, in a year of your life. And they're waiting for that one time.
Of course.
Boom.
Of course.
Ex-girlfriend mad at you, joins, some security company,
Yeah.
gets her revenge.
Of course.
I mean,
of course.
And how come none of these cameras have ever stopped any terror attacks like Boston? How come they still can't show a picture of the plane hitting the Pentagon with all the cameras on the Pentagon? How come, like we said here in Chicago, crime rate goes up as cameras increase?
We have so many damn cameras, and they're not being used right. It's killing me. It's like, come on.
Well, exactly. What ends up happening is the offices locally, like in Building 7, they had the Office of New York Emergency Management when they blew that building up.
New York is is a great word right there. New York Times.
Yeah, New York Times. You listen in, why don't you do your job and actually report on some real news?
I just don't like hearing New York anymore. New York. And then when we talk about New York Times, anytime I hear New York now, it's just I think negative.
It's because there's good people there.
I'm not
Bloomberg and their leaders.
Yeah, I don't want to say my bad about.
They tried to kill Alex Jones out there. I mean, it's a corrupt ass place. They want no guns. They said that they're going to kick every Republican out, and then they just tried to throw some at a former CIA guy, like he wouldn't have dirt on him, Yeah. I mean, New York is probably worse than Chicago. Chicago's showing signs of improvement. Although, again, they banned e-cigarettes, and here's a live protest. Yep. It actually helped me cut down on smoking. It might have saved my dad's life if they were invented earlier. So thank you, Illinois government, again, lawmakers, for doing something completely stupid after we gave you credit for 3 weeks.
I'm not surprised, you know what, Pete, that they banned them eventually.
Yeah, I'm not either, because they're the pimps, and there's too many independent, separate companies that, like, popped up. They can't, like the smoking, like the cigarette companies, there's only so many.
Yeah.
That they could get their cut. They couldn't get enough money from these.
People were enjoying themselves. They could
Yeah.
actually,
They're enjoying them. Make them illegal.
you know,
They're having fun.
these people are enjoying. They're having way too much fun. They're smiling. We gotta make them illegal.
Yeah, that's the truth, man.
I mean, I've been smoking the whole time. This e-cigarette. Come on,
I
really?
mean, honest to God, like,
It's not smoke. This is not. It's not.
we have like economic problems. We have oil and radiation in our ocean, in our lake, and they're worried about this.
It's not smoke. This is
It's
not,
water vapor.
It's water vapor. How-
Illinois. Why don't you people try it? Okay.
Try once.
Yeah, and then do a vote and see if it offends your neighbor. Okay. Oh my God, you guys just want people to die and smoke, and and I'm a smoker. I can't even complain. But what I can say is that since I've been able to smoke these in Chicago businesses, I have cut down my smoking. I guess they just want me to die faster.
They always want us to die in some way.
Yeah, so
That's hard. That's very sad to say.
so finalizing, what goes on, and this isn't just a Chicago thing with these cameras. It isn't a personal thing because we know someone that got murdered underneath one.
Yeah.
It is literally national. The CIA, FBI, Secret Service, they go set these things up where they have boots on the ground, they got eyes in the sky, they got drones flying around. I mean, we are watched 24/7 regardless what country you're in, what state you're in, and what language you speak, what religion you practice, what color hair you have, how tall you are. You are being spied on, okay, at all times. At all times.
They just want to watch us 24/7, and they accomplish that.
Yeah, and they don't have to follow laws because they're corporations.
Yeah.
You know
Of
what I'm
course.
saying? They
Of
really
course.
don't have to follow Constitution even.
We do not have a constitution anymore. We do not have amendments
Yeah.
anymore.
They have wireless polygraphs. They have at airports. They
Yeah.
have these things that could project thought in your head, so they could say, "Hey, are you gonna do it?" in your head.
Yeah.
And a person who had plans of doing something, be like, "What? Yeah," and then they catch
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how this stuff is actually could be used. But yet again, how many terror attacks have we stopped at the airport?
No, I
The
know.
underwear
I know.
bomber that we put on the plane. Okay, so again, going back to if we didn't create it, yeah, I mean, we actually create them and don't stop them, so
Yeah.
that's about the only way I could say it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And there's, just to let you guys know, there's a quick article. It's on InfoWars and also CBS. Obama administration, despite pledges, still resists release of secret legal opinions on surveillance. And it just goes on to talk about how pretty much he promised transparency and has delivered the exact opposite. And this is CBS, who actually just came out and said their stories are written for them. So they're trying to say, yeah, it could,
Am I shocked?
well, I'm in a sense shocked that they're somewhat trying to report and saying,
Yeah, no, that I'm shocked about.
that it is alleged, that there's complaints and that they're failed to, follow the Constitution. I mean, yeah, they're not saying this is wrong, but they're at least talking about it.
I agree. I agree with you, Pete.
So I give them credit, and they're even saying that it's getting to the point where Obama is worse than any president in the history as far as freedom of information request, and he pretty much denies everything. And you could see that with the Benghazi scandal just lately, how they try to twist words and Carney and all that. And I mean, they even call Obama out in the end right here and say like that he said he's looking to have greater transparency, but it's unclear how future secret surveillance court opinions will be declassified in the future. Secret surveillance court, so now we have a secret court too that deals with this.
I love it. I love it.
Do you think you could have a lawyer at the secret court? I don't know about that.
No, wait, well, I'll say it. Right.
Yeah, I agree.
It's my new word.
The secret court is held in Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then, so pretty much wrapping up that, I mean, we're guinea pigs. It's that simple, and it's nationally.
I agree.
It's not just locally. It's not a Chicago problem. It's not just a city problem. They got drones. You could look that up. Type in Google drones watching farmers. I mean, they have. We forget we have 30,000 drones flying around too. On top of all that, so people, we need to wake up and step up to the plate and fight. And I'm not saying like physically. I'm saying we fight this thing legally. It can't be constitutionally allowed. I mean, it it violates the Fourth Amendment. That's for sure. Now, whether we let the people be aware we're not happy with this is what's going to make things change. If we sit here and do nothing like we are now, they're just going to keep putting more up. But if we say, hey, this is a Fourth Amendment violation, and on top of it, you could track us everywhere we go, what kind of free, state is this in the land of the free, maybe they'll change some shit. Maybe they'll start looking into crime at least with them.
Well, I thought, with the amendments and the Constitution, that I was a citizen and I was in America and I had rights and, you know what I'm saying, Pete?
Me too, but...
I mean, that's what I was raised,
The Patriot Act and
when I was
2001, when we were in high school together.
Yeah, I know.
Our lives changed forever. And we didn't even know it.
Growing up, it's like, okay, you're a citizen, you're in America, you have your Bill of Rights, you have your amendments. Where did they go?
I have no clue.
They took them away from us. They call us terrorists, domestic terrorists. Where did that come from?
Yeah, I mean, technically we are labeled domestic because we do promote liberty and equality and freedom.
Religion.
And religious, like getting along. I guess if you're a terrorist if you want to get along.
Yeah.
But if you want to like blow up stuff, you're
okay.
Then you're on a government payroll.
Yeah, you're okay then.
So, I mean, to break that down, it is all collected nationally. It could be rewound like a DVR and globally as well. So when you go to England, they know. When you go here, they know.
Oh, yeah.
And then they could alter your ticket prices. They could alter... Think about that, knowing what you're going to do, how they could exploit you with that. That just crossed my mind. They could alter your hotel costs.
That's a good one, yeah. I never even thought about that, and they can alter that, yeah.
And they admit it's for marketing purposes. So, hey, if they know you want to go to Florida and the NSA lets you know you want to stay at this hotel, and sure enough, they follow you via your RFID tag and all the cameras to the hotel. You're hell-bent on going there. Hey, we're going to raise it $50. He hasn't looked at any other hotel.
Yeah.
And who would ever know? It's not like this guy sits at the pool and goes, I paid $175 a night for my room.
Yeah.
They could alter the price for each individual.
They could do whatever they want.
I mean, to me, that just clicked, and it's kind of like with the sun thing that I thought, if you deprive people of sun, you're going to make them pretty much miserable.
Of course.
And no one's ever really came out and said that, and that's another thing. I think the main thing of these cameras is marketing, studying our human behavior, and tracking.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
I just want to say I like the sun.
Yeah, me too, dude. I get depressed when I don't see it.
I know it's not a laughing matter, but I like the sun. Please don't take the sun away from me.
But yeah, I mean, and then we have quickly about the guns. We talked like 3 weeks ago about how they were talking about biometrics and.
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun one.
And here's the exact details, folks. So someone breaks in your house. You better go find your watch first, then put your watch on, better not forget your 5-digit passcode. So maybe you want to tattoo it on your hand.
Explain to him why you need the watch.
Oh, let's see. Eric Holder says that in order to make sure that guns are safe, and maybe instead of putting it in a safe or something common like that, he wants us to have biometric guns. Okay, and they're talking about doing executive order to make this happen. And Eric Holder says you should have the time if someone breaks into your house to put a watch on, type in 5-digit passcode, and then you could fire the gun based
that's
on.
wirelessly basically going to your weapon.
Yep.
That you're the owner.
Yep.
Okay.
To prevent kids or something they're saying from firing.
Yeah, I mean, but
or stolen guns.
They're
like you're not gonna be able to hack it first.
Yeah. First of all, of course, we have a lot of hackers out there, so it's like okay, so they have a 5-digit code on a watch. I just love when I research this.
Let's go through this scenario, okay? I'm the robber. I break in your window, right? I break the window. I open your screen door. I come in. You have to now run.
It's like, hold on, 1 second.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
All right.
I gotta get my watch.
All right, I'm just gonna load up the TV quick and all that.
Hold on, 1 second.
All right.
Don't stab me. Don't shoot me. I gotta get my watch on.
You got jewelry? Okay, get that watch.
Hold on. Let me get the watch on. Oh, I forgot the code. Hold on. I gotta remember the code really quick.
All right, I'm about to head out. Thanks for your cooperation with the 52-inch TV, the $45,000 of jewelry I just stole, and all that. Have a good one.
Or you can
good luck on your password.
Or you can be killed.
Yeah, I mean, think about that, folks. Someone else has a gun that doesn't require biometrics or a knife even, and they try to come in your house. You think you're going to have enough time to run, get a watch, put in your passcode, and then your firearm, then load it and shoot it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, say you remember your passcode. We're just kind of, we're joking around here because it's ridiculous.
Because Google did say you should get it tattooed on you, your Google passwords.
Oh, yeah?
To rebel against your parents. So, I mean, what's the next step? Get your
gun.
Then whoever could look at your gun or your arm knows your password and everything like that. But, yeah, I mean, think about how impractical that is. Isn't it for self-defense?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
How long do you think that would take? At least probably 40 seconds, 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Say you're not prepared and you don't have your watch on you.
Yeah.
Now, where do you put the watch?
Exactly.
Now, then you have to find the watch. Then you got to get to your safe because you still have to keep it away from your kid.
Yeah.
Because you don't want him playing around with it.
Exactly.
So then you have to go in your safe.
Well, they're basically trying to make it so if you have the watch, you can leave it
and
out.
Only you could fire your gun.
Well, yeah, because you have the watch on, it's wireless, it sends signals to the gun.
Yep.
But so that means they really don't want you to put it in a safe. Just leave it up.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what I'm getting.
Exactly. That is a good point.
You don't need to put it in a safe.
That is a hell of a point because that's actually like going against keeping guns out of the reach of children.
That's exactly, that's where I'm going at.
It's almost like,
it's like, all right, stop the safe. We don't need the safe.
Don't tell your kid the password.
Yeah.
And how accurate is the thing going to be? Like you said, what if someone just hacks your gun and starts like fire,
Yeah.
And everyone anonymous could tell you they could hack those things, I'm sure. So it's ridiculous that they would think this is the answer. But what happens to the regular guns then?
Well, yeah, I know. It's people that with the regular guns, and then you have the high-tech guns now. They have an advantage on the...
Well, on top of it, I don't think you're going to have your regular guns. Then they're going to come in and take them away from you and say, hey, you're not registered with the biometrics. This is illegal. Yeah, but you have to give up your gun.
But some people are still going to have...
Exactly. The criminals are going to have the upper hand on the average person once again.
So you're trying to be a good, upright, citizen and get, up to date with the guns. And then you have a criminal coming in that's
doesn't care.
That doesn't care.
has a regular gun.
And has an advantage on you.
And if you were to duel, like in the old days,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, yeah, let's see a duel between.
Defend your house.
Yeah,
Defend your
exactly.
apartment, your house, where you live.
It defeats the whole purpose of the Second Amendment and of owning a gun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't defend your house with that. And like you said, I mean, my God, like in a time like that, what if you just forget like one digit or mistype
Or
your password?
or you're nervous
and your hand shaking, you hit the wrong button.
Exactly.
Like then you can't fire. Does it lock? Then what happens?
Yeah.
And then what do you? How are you gonna get rid of all the guns that aren't?
Yeah.
You're gonna confiscate them. That could cause a civil war.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
over this. And this is, you know, who brought this up? Eric Holder, the guy who shipped all the guns to Mexico for Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
out of all the people, this dick wants us to have smart guns when he's sending, you know, rocket launchers and AK-47s to Mexican drug cartels. Eric Harold wants you to do a duel with, you know, Alex Jones and his his 4.4 Magnum and your new gun, and see how it does in defending yourself.
What was the other thing that they made on? There's another thing they added on these guns. I can't. I lost my.
Well, I have here the article. Smart gun technology faces uphill battle. You're damn right.
Yeah.
You know.
I can't remember exactly what. There's another thing beside the watch. They have something else besides the watch.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is actually the IP1 smart gun, and it's being developed in Nuremberg, Germany. Deutschland, what are you doing, Deutschland?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess when the money's there, you're going to do what it takes. But, yeah, gun advocates like the idea for a one-time firearm seller was behind it, basically. So it's this one company that's trying to like pitch it to Harold, Eric Harold, and Holder. Why do I say Harold? Erica Harold.
Yeah, I don't know.
Erica Harold, Miss America's always on my mind. That's why she's a beautiful woman and constitutional.
Yeah, you have a little problem.
I can't get her out of my mind. But Eric Holder, you dick. Okay, listen, you and your IP1 handgun and your 5-digit code, okay, and your wristwatch, and the gun sends a wireless signal to a computer chip in the gun. So that's another thing. Now what if, I don't know, water damage destroys your computer chip and it can't fire? It's another thing. But the NRA is actually sticking up against this, but there's people that already have it's called AMTICs or Armatics, and there's pretty much people that are ready to have it go in the stores already.
Yeah.
And Obama's talking about passing an executive order to make all guns biometric.
Yeah.
And we brought this up 3 weeks ago. Unfortunately, again, it seems to be coming true.
Yeah, I don't know how we do this, people. I really don't.
You know, and then pretty much it's going to destroy the gun industry. And what they're doing to implement this is Holder is having Bank America, you know, gun owners who own accounts their accounts frozen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I was forgetting. That's what I was. The people that are, customers or at Bank of America
are getting threatened. Like
they cannot own a gun.
Yeah, and they go, well, who says that? And they literally are telling them it's the alphabet agencies.
That's exactly what I was forgetting. That was perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah.
I thought that was ridiculous. If
you
have an account with Bank of America, you cannot have a gun.
Here's the bastard right here.
Yeah, there's the bastard.
But so basically what he did was we got this information from gun shops.
Yeah.
And gun shops blew the whistle, and they're getting threatened from the Justice Department, and they're saying that they're involved in high-risk activities. I mean, last time I checked, they're selling a product that is protected by the Second Amendment of our Constitution.
Yeah.
Like, that's not you sending guns to drug cartels is high risk activity, Eric Holder.
I thought we were doing good with the, with the gun laws and everything.
Yeah, I knew there was something to passing it in Chicago.
Yeah, it was
and-
going too good. It was going too well with us. Everything was smooth. Remember the story with the guy with
and with the marijuana, how
Yeah.
you don't have to choose between either having a Second Amendment and getting medication.
Yeah, you got to
could
pay.
have both, actually.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of positive.
Well, at
rules.
first they made you choose.
But now
they didn't. But now everything was
And
clicking.
then-
Everything was clicking together.
And then
Everything.
e-cigs, and
Yeah,
then
good old
and then
e-cigs.
this on a national scale,
It was too good to be true.
Yeah, and there's like some kind of, that's right too, there's some kind of other like tracking or like, like almost like RFID tracking device that's in them.
Yeah, that's another thing I forgot
so
about.
then they know where you're at all times too.
That's another thing with the Bank of America I forgot, and then they also have a tracker in it.
And this is called Operation Choke Point.
Yep.
Choke point. And this guy said back 10, 15 years ago, we need to brainwash people to think differently about guns. So, yeah, Operation Choke Point started last August, people. We reported 3 weeks ago they're looking into it. Now, there's a good chance Obama could sign this as an executive order at any time.
And I don't see why the man wouldn't, because he likes to mess up in every which way.
Yeah, and then think about what that would set the precedent for. Biometric cars.
Yeah.
Biometric doors to open your house.
I just don't understand it. We were going so well with the Second Amendment.
It was with the Bundy situation which is another thing we might as well talk about.
Yeah,
quick.
we want to talk about the Bundy situation.
I mean, we don't have any boots on the ground with intel right now, but the government is preparing a attack squad on the Bundy facility, and Clark County official told any militia members coming to protect the Bundy family and ranch that they better bring a, quote, body bag and have funeral plans.
That's horrible. That's sickening.
It is. They're going to assault that.
They're going to take them out.
Assault Waco, Texas.
They're going to take them out. They're going to take them out. I mean, they're going to fight. The militia will fight, but in the end, who's going to have more power in weaponry?
I think they're not going to even bring the same people. They're going to bring, like I said, from the Delta Force with the best tech, with the best soldiers, with the craziest soldiers, and they're going to have the advantage.
And I'm sorry, militia's not going to have a chance. I mean,
they might have a chance as far as if they don't escalate it and they get fired upon to swaying the public of how crazy our government is, but in a physical battle, they probably will not, because I think they learned from last time.
I think the government will just take them out. The government,
I think so now,
I think the government's just going to take them out.
They're going to block media. When you know that you're not seeing any reports from like mainstream media, even InfoWars out there. They're doing checkpoints, stopping people in California for minor violations and things like that. They're basically isolating him. Right now he's under siege, and they're waiting to attack him. Like you said, physically they'll probably be prepared to win. Now, if we could get them to fire without us, or the militia as the aggressors, and we could expose them as tyrants, then it could be a moral victory, but blood probably is going to be shed.
See, and honestly, Pete, I thought this Bundy thing was over with.
So did I when they got the cattle.
Yeah.
But that damn solar plant's too important.
Well, that's the thing with China and everything, how much we owe them, and then, good old Harry Reid,
son.
Who
are cowards that still haven't responded to our... We have 4 arms and legs in total, okay? 4 arms and legs combined. We're one behind our back, and we'll skip around with one tied to our leg tied to our waist.
You want to be blindfolded?
And we'll be blindfolded.
Yeah, you want to do the blindfold?
But as long as we win, which we will, you have to move your family to communist China, okay?
Yeah. Yes.
And leave the Bundy family alone, and let the militia and everyone else go home, and everything would be solved.
There's 2 words I hate. Harry Reid. Harry Reid. That's the 2 words I hate.
Reid Obama.
Oh well.
Clinton.
Oh yeah. Well, my bad. There's other words.
Brzezinski.
Okay, we'll go Reed, Obama, Clinton, and then Cheney.
Cheney. How did I forget Dirty Dick?
How did you forget?
Dirty Dick Cheney.
I had to remind you.
My God.
Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, people. I didn't mean 2 words. There's more than 2 words.
Yeah, 2,000 people.
Yeah.
This is a more accurate statement.
It's just the one that we're on, the topic we're on, Harry Reid, yeah. And then you just keep adding on, like Obama, Clinton, and good old Cheney.
Yeah.
We can go on and on.
I'd like to actually congratulate Barack Obama for winning the Baghdad Bob Award. Baghdad Bob was telling everyone that he was crushing the American troops in the last war with Iraq, and that they can't tell it was our bombs or theirs, and they're snakes. They run from us. And 5 hours later, Baghdad Bob was blown up in a IED exploder or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the guy basically was like delusional, saying that Iraq was winning the war when we were in Saddam's palace.
Of course.
And Obama won the award for saying you keep your doctor and that your insurance would be the price of a cable bill 75,000 times. So congratulations, Barack Obama, for being the biggest liar of the year.
And I'm not surprised.
Hey, I mean, he had some tough comp, like Hillary Clinton and
that's another bad word. I'm using that in the bad word phrases.
Yeah, that should be put as a profanity. Too.
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah. Obama, Clinton.
Cheney. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
And then
I'm just gonna laugh after everything I say, and everyone loves me. I wanted to pass a socialist health care bill myself. It was called Hillary Clinton Care, but it got shot down.
Yeah, and then you got Hillary
I
Clinton.
like crack. I tried marijuana, but didn't inhale it.
I swear I didn't inhale it.
Oh, you lying piece of garbage.
Okay, sure.
Somehow he's still like, and let to campaign for the Democrats. They won't even let Bush back. That shows you how bad he was.
Oh, I told you Bush equals war.
Yeah.
And I'll keep saying that.
Yeah,
Bush
and that stands
for
Jeb Bush too.
Yes.
Another
yes.
dick. But we're gonna go to a quick break pretty much, and then we're gonna wrap up the show with your Truth Seeker social media questions of the week. We also are gonna quickly just touch on a couple other issues, but you pretty much got through the main part of the show, and we'd like to thank you for staying in there, and again remind you to call Slam Internet Radio and talk live with Johnny B. Good and myself at
I would love to talk to you guys.
1-773-657-3341. We're going to be back in about 5 minutes, so thanks for tuning in, and stick with us. We'll be right back.
Did before. Why don't you come to America? I'll take you out shooting. You become an American and join the Republic.
As for me, give me liberty or give me death!
The answer to 1984 is 1776.
But tonight, I'll go head-to-head with a man who actually wants to deport me for having these very views. And over 104,000 Americans apparently agree with him. That's coming up. Anyone who's watched this show over the past few weeks knows I've taken a pretty strong stand on guns in America. It's not escaped the notice of supporters of gun rights, and it's led to a petition on the White House official website, no less. It's entitled, and I quote, "Deport British citizen Piers Morgan for attacking Second Amendment." Take a look. More than 104,000 people have signed it so far. And joining me now is one of the people behind the petition, Alex Jones. He's host of the Alex Jones Show. Welcome to you.
Piers, thanks for having me.
Why do you want to deport me?
Well, we did it as a way to bring attention to the fact that we have all of these foreigners, and the Russian government, the official Chinese government. Mao said political power goes out of the barrel of a gun. He killed about 80 million people because he's the only guy that had the guns. So we did it to point out that this is globalism, and the mega banks that control the planet and brag that they've taken over, in Bloomberg, AP, Reuters, you name it, brag that they're going to get our guns as well. They've taken everybody's guns but the Swiss and the American people. And when they get our guns, they can have their world tyranny, while the government buys 1.6 billion bullets, armored vehicles, tanks, helicopters, Predator drones, armed, now in U.S. skies, being used to arrest people in North Dakota. The Second Amendment isn't there for duck hunting. It's there to protect us from tyrannical government and street thugs. Take the women in India. Your piece earlier on CNN I was watching during Anderson Cooper's show didn't tell you that the women of India have signed giant petitions to get firearms because the police can't and won't protect them. The answer is, hey, wait a minute, I have FBI crime statistics that come out a year late, 2011. 20+% crime drop in the last 9 years. Real violent crime, because more guns means less crime. Britain took the guns 15, 16 years ago, tripling of your overall violent crime. True, we have a higher gun violence level, but overall mugging, stabbings, deaths, those men raped that woman in India to death with an iron rod 4 feet long. You can't ban the iron rods. The guns, the iron rods, Pierce, didn't do it. The tyrants did it. Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. Doesn't matter how many lemmings you get out there on the street begging for them to have their guns taken. We will not relinquish them. Do you understand? That's why you're going to fail, and the establishment knows no matter how much propaganda, the Republic will rise again when you attempt to take our guns. My family in the Texas Revolution against Santa Anna, my family was at the core on both sides starting that, because Santa Anna came to take the guns at Gonzales, Texas. Pierce, don't try what your ancestors did before. Why don't you come to America? I'll take you out shooting. You can become an American and join the Republic.
You finished?
Yes, I am finished. You will not take my right. You go through background checks to get guns. How about Prozac? You know the number one, oh, that's the big sponsor, isn't it? Or that whole class of drugs.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, got to cut that off, don't you? Don't want to talk about the U.S. number one cause of death is suicide now, because they give people suicide mass murder pills.
Calm down.
Your answer is give more money to the psychiatrists and psychologists to put more crazy people on drugs that make them kill people, Pierce.
Let's try and have a debate here.
Yeah.
Answer me this question.
I'm sick of the same old script here, bud.
It's fine, bud. How many gun murders were there in America last year? Do you know?
There were about 11,458, and about 74% of those were gang-related, gangbangers shooting each other. You get 3,500 to 4,000.
That wasn't the
How many people died from infections in hospitals? 197,000.
Let me just ask you a second.
That's right.
How many gun murders were there in Britain?
How many great white sharks?
No, how many
kill people every year, but they're scared to swim?
Right. How many gun murders were there in Britain?
A very low amount. I already went over those statistics.
Do you know?
It was only a few hundred.
No. How many gun murders?
I actually did pull up the statistics. Here, let me pull them out right here. I figured you'd do that.
Gun murders
in
Britain
Britain
last year.
UK violent crime, capital of Europe. London Telegraph. Here, let me give you more.
It's quite a simple question.
Well, that's the oldest.
You're a very loud man.
No, that's the oldest Perry Mason tactic to ask me some little factoid.
It's not a little factoid.
I already said earlier,
We're talking about
England has a lot lower gun crime rate because you took all the guns.
Let me try exactly my
point. But you've got hordes of people burning down cities and beating old women's brains out every day.
What a ridiculous
They arrest people in England if they defend themselves. That's on record. My God, you've got a total police state. Everybody's fleeing that country because you've had to flee here, bud. Why don't you tell folks? Here. Yeah, you fled here. Why don't you go back and face the charges for the hacking scandal?
Answer this question. How many
Why'd you get fired from the Daily Mirror for putting out fake stories? You're a hatchet man of the New World Order. Okay. You're a hatchet man. And I want to say this right here. You think you're a tough guy? Have me back with a boxing ring in here, and I'll wear red, white, and blue, and you can wear your Jolly Roger.
Okay.
You know what?
Let's try again. How many gun murders were there?
Oh, you're going to ban your fist now?
In Britain last year.
How many chimpanzees can dance on the head of a pin? I already went over those statistics.
Do you know the answer?
No, I don't.
You said hundreds.
It's very low.
You said hundreds.
Yes.
It's actually 35.
Well, the point is you can...
Against 11,000. Do you understand the difference between 11,000
Yeah, England wants
35?
to ban knives now because tens of thousands are getting stabbed.
But do you understand the
knives?
difference?
The knife doesn't kill people.
Do you understand?
The gun doesn't kill people.
Yes.
Listen, do you understand you're not going to pull on America's heartstrings? They know your script, okay? You're not going to get our guns. By the way, you guys always say, we just want to take the semi-autos, okay, and all this other stuff, when semi-autos aren't even, rifles aren't even used but in a fraction of the crimes. You can pull those numbers up, okay? No, hold on.
Let me ask you one question. Which weapon was predominantly used in the Aurora movie theater shooting?
M4 AR-15 variant.
So it was a semi-automatic assault rifle.
Again,
okay,
but statistically, it's very, very low.
Do you agree it was the single biggest shooting in the history of America in terms of people hit by a shooter? Do you know that?
No, I believe that there were others. There's been some other shootings with about over 30.
No, this was the single biggest mass shooting.
Well, listen, you're just going. No, there have been bombings of Wall Street.
Let me ask you a second question.
Are we going to listen? Why can't the pilots have firearms? We trust them to fly the planes.
Alex, you've had a lot to say.
No, my point is the Second Amendment is sacrosanct, and you're not getting it.
Do you know which weapon was used in the Oregon shopping mall mass shooting recently?
I understand that people who are mentally ill on all the serotonin reuptake inhibitors who play these shoot-'em-up games want to go out and do this. Because there's criminals, I don't lose my rights, Pierce. Because there's criminals, I don't lose my rights.
Just answer the question.
Yeah.
Do you know what the weapon used was?
Listen, let me ask you a question.
No, answer.
I've got the FBI statistics that, listen, that these so-called semi-autos that you talk about.
Let's take a break. When we come back.
Again, you're not going to get our guns.
When we come back, try and answer my question.
Yeah, all you're going to do is sit there and play little factoid questions. Overall crime's gone up over 20%. More.
Back now with Alex Jones. A man says I should be deported for my stand on guns. So, Alex, here's how this is going to work, and it's entirely down to you. I'm going to ask you some questions. In the spirit of a proper debate, and you've had a lot to say so far on the show, a lot of it aimed at me, which is fine. But I want you to try and answer the questions. It's a proper debate, okay? I'm not trying to trip you up.
No, it's not a debate. You're running the show. You bring in your victims up front.
Actually, no.
Look, you got your little note cards. I just gave you FBI statistics that violent crime and gun crime is down over 20%.
Alex, let me just ask you
And you want to go to little factoids.
No, they're not little
Anybody
factoids.
can pull those up. Listen.
Do you know what...
Do you have a bodyguard?
Alex.
Why do you have bodyguards?
I don't have a bodyguard.
Yeah, I've seen you on the news with them. Don't you want to protect your wife from hoodlums, or you want to call the police?
Let me ask you this question.
Why does Dianne Feinstein tell 60 Minutes that she plans to try to take Mr. and Mrs. America's guns?
Stop talking over me.
You guys want to disarm all of America.
No, I don't.
Dianne Feinstein's bill does gun confiscation.
No, let me clarify for you. You don't seem to understand.
First you register, then you confiscate. It's always done the same.
Here's what the campaign on this
Well, here, give me your little cue cards and I'll answer your questions for you.
What was the weapon used at Sandy Hook?
I've already gone over that and already answered it for you.
We haven't talked about Sandy Hook.
No, again.
What was the weapon?
It's a 223 M4.
Right.
Again, but statistically, they're using very low percentage of shootings, period.
Are you seeing...
You guys,
people
wouldn't go swimming because the movie Jaws, even though great white sharks kill 5 people a year. You're trying to scare people.
Let me say something.
There's no metal shark in the water.
The same type of weapon was used in the last 3 mass shootings.
And Hitler used semi-autos to kill people.
Why would you not?
So did Mao.
Why would you...
Why is the government armed to the teeth against us?
Alex, I don't
What about Fast and Furious?
Alex,
why did our government ship guns into Mexico?
Alex.
To blame the Second Amendment?
Let's have a debate.
A false flag?
Alex.
To blame the Second Amendment?
I get accused.
Why'd they blow up Building 7 down the street here in New York?
I get accused when I get you guys on of talking over you, of being rude. I'm trying to be civil, right? You've got to try and answer some of the questions, right? Here's my issue for you. Why do civilians need an AR-15 type assault rifle?
I already said statistically they're used in a very low amount of the crimes. That's an FBI fact.
They've been used in the last 3 mass shootings.
Yes.
I'll
tell you why. Because they advertise it in the media. Anybody knows that if somebody jumps off the Empire State Building, they put cops up there the next day because copycats come to do it again. The media hypes and hypes and hypes.
And that's not the question.
Don't just commit suicide.
Alex, why do people
commit suicide by killing a bunch of kids, and here's the gun to use because it's the one the U.S. Army uses.
Why do people need them?
They need them to protect us from the #1 killer in history. Government in the 20th century, university study out of Hawaii killed 292 million people. It's called democide. Google it, folks.
Do you believe everyone in America should everyone in America therefore have an AR-15 if they want one?
Statistically, where there's more guns, there's lower crime. The highest crime is in Bloomberg,
But you have the most guns of any of the 23 richest countries in the world, and you have
Well, America was born on guns and whiskey.
Right. But
it's true we're a violent society.
Right. So you accept that America has the most
knives kill 3 times more. Have you seen the FBI numbers? Knives, bats, rocks kill many times more.
Alex, let's talk about the guns.
It's not the rock. It's not the knife. When a mother chops her kids up with a cleaver because she's on serotonin.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
Why don't you want to get rid of the drugs? Because they're half your sponsors?
Stick to the subject.
America's #1 cause of unnatural death now is suicide.
Alex,
not
let's try
automobile
again.
accident, not cancer, not.
You
Listen,
accuse me of attacking the Second Amendment of the Constitution.
I want to get people off pills that the insert says will make you commit suicide and kill people.
Alex, let's get about to the Second Amendment.
I want to blame
Alex,
the real culprit.
Alex.
Suicide pills.
Alex.
Mass murder pills.
Okay, let me ask you one question. Your belief, unless I'm wrong.
First time anybody's ever heard this, by the way.
Your belief, unless I'm wrong, is that under the Second Amendment, your real concern is that you will be overrun by a tyrannical regime, either from somewhere else.
Yeah, highway checkpoints. Look at Mexico. Total gun ban for the citizens. Highest crime rate in the world. 57,000 people dead the last 5 years. Total gun ban for the citizens.
But you're
Switzerland has the lowest crime rate in Europe.
Alex,
your country has
Alex,
the highest.
Alex, we have 35 gun murders a year, 11,000.
You people get their brains. It's the higher crime rate.
Let me ask you,
violent crime is higher.
On this specific.
It's brains.
Alex,
it's people.
I'm trying to get inside your brains.
Pierce,
it's
if
not
you punched
very
me right
easy.
now, it'd be not your fist,
Alex,
but your brain that did
Alex,
it.
let me get inside your brain.
Okay.
Okay? I'm serious. You have a very, very big platform. You air, I think, on 63 networks.
No, that Wikipedia is like 10 years old. I'm on over 140 stations. XM.
Millions of Americans hear you.
Over 1.5 million
every day.
visitors to Infowars.com
And I
today,
congratulate
where we have
you
the
on your
statistics posted right now.
Okay.
Infowars.com.
Who do you believe was behind 9/11?
Oh, I absolutely know. I have the police on CNN saying, get back, they're going to blow up 7. I have BBC reporting.
Who do you believe is behind
I have the proof. I heard them on CBS Radio.
Who, Alex?
They announced they blew up the towers on CBS Radio.
Who do you believe?
New Yorkers all saw it and heard it.
Alex, who do you
They
believe?
blew up Building 7.
Alex, who do you believe was behind it? The American government?
Criminal elements of the military-industrial complex, the same ones that staged Gulf of Tonkin, the same ones that staged the mass shootings of Operation Gladio.
Right.
Ooh, the CIA don't like this right now.
Do you mean that President Bush and his administration were behind 9/11?
I mean that even mainstream news reported that the hijackers were ordered to be allowed into the United States. Michael Springman, the head of the Visa Department, blew the whistle on that.
So the Bush administration was part of a conspiracy.
Well, he said never let us tolerate
to murder.
I can speak in this accent as well.
Yeah.
The
But is that what you
government,
believe?
Hitler firebombed his own Reichstag, Pierce, to bring in martial law in Germany, April 27th, 1933. Governments have staged terror attacks throughout history or allowed terrorists to attack as a pretext to invade and enslave the populations. I probably own more than 50 firearms. Many of them have increased in value 2, 3, or even 4 times. I sleep very comfortably outside Austin, Texas, knowing that I can defend my family.
Okay, Alex Jones. This is
Infowars.com.
This is the man who wants to deport me from the country for wanting to get rid of.
No, it's to point out you're a foreigner, a redcoat, here telling us what to do.
Whatever.
Go back to where they took the guns if you don't like it. The communists.
You're back live with Pete Wichert, and this is Truth is Stranger Than Fiction, and Johnny Be Good as well.
Yeah, buddy.
And we're going to go to the Truth Seeker social media questions of the week.
Is it about that time?
It's about that time, wrapping up the show.
Okay.
Great show today, Johnny Be Good.
Yeah, it was a good show. It was a really good show.
Yeah, like, honest to God, you blew my mind with that Axis thing. I've been trying to figure out why they made Axis.
I just got my research done, and
yeah, that's why it's good to put 2 minds on the same task.
Of
man.
course.
Because I always seen it and wondered, and I knew there's something behind it, but now I know.
Yeah, I dug deep, and
I just had to say, man, brother, great job.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let's do this. The Truth Seeker Social Media Questions of the Week by Johnny Be Good.
My favorite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy. All right, first question. And this is anonymous. Again, no one wants to do their names. First question is, what can we do to stop the globalists or the global elite from completing their evil agenda?
Wow, that's a big question. Well, we're helping. We're doing a show and exposing their agenda. You're helping by asking that question, but we need to all take action locally. We need to do our research, Look into the Rothschilds. Look into the Rockefellers. Look into how our society came about and be politically active. Realize it's cool to care about politics because politics equals life. And I feel if we find a passion in exposing, corruption and find a passion in sticking up for the Constitution as young adults, young males, young females, we can change this thing and actually hold trials and hold people accountable. But you gotta start locally and then move on up, you know.
I agree with you.
I mean, I'm kind of like the exception. I started nationally and, you know, I'm moving locally, but hey, Chicago's waking up and every single city is waking up every day more and more. So now that we're getting the numbers, we got to show our strength in numbers, protest, write articles, start your own show, start blogs, talk shows, write articles, start your own website. I mean, there's anything you feel that you could do with your time to help improve, you know, society is how we beat these guys. If everyone just does a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I agree with you. I do agree with you fully.
Johnny B. Good and myself aren't going to be riding, you know, into the White House or into the Pentagon on a horse.
I wish.
That's just not what we want either. I mean, we want to do this. Like, our Constitution is proven to be the best document. We need to stick by it and hold our elected officials accountable.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to stop these global companies that came in and bought them out, is to expose them. To know we're under control is the only way to stop being controlled.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree fully.
Thank you, brother.
That was a good question.
But yeah, keep it up, guys. Just
that was a great question.
Finding a fight to fight.
Yeah, it's got to start somewhere. It's got to start with someone, and just
no problem's too big nor too small.
Exactly. I agree with you, brother. You want to go on to the second question?
Thank you.
Thank you. Second question. Does the FBI have the authority to kill?
Wow.
That's a good one.
That is a good question.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm going to have to see this how you could tell this this isn't staged. Well, let's see. They act like they do. Thinking about it, I don't really... Well, they probably, in a sense, do have the right to kill under self-defense circumstances, but taking witnesses and shooting them 6 times in the head when they're unarmed, I don't think that they have the right to do.
They get away with a lot of
things.
They
do get away. They are one of the more respected branches, but also more corrupt. So that is a good question. No, they do not have the authority to kill, unless I would say it's probably some kind of mission and they're, you know, ordered to basically achieve something we don't know about, and it's like black ops type thing, or if they're under attack or threat, they do have the right to kill. But taking people in custody and murdering them, which has happened over and over, they do not have that right.
No.
Nobody does.
No.
We all deserve a fair judge, jury, and trial, not execution.
I agree with you. I mean, like you said, though, my opinion is they don't have they do, but then they don't. It's just like the corruption. That's the thing with me, is they can get away with a lot of things.
Like, they're given a special role in society, and the trust that, you could defend yourself if necessary because your job's hard, but they're taking witnesses and killing them.
Exactly. They can cover. They can cover up. They're the FBI.
Yeah.
They can cover up whatever they want.
So technically, I guess the answer is yes. They do have the right to kill, but not legally.
Not legally. Exactly. Yeah. That's a good way to point. Yeah. That's a good way to to look at it. That's a good view.
You brought it up. That's pretty much the only way you could think about it.
Yeah.
Is that they have the right to kill under their own set of rules.
Yeah, under their terms, under what they want to do, but under the radar, the corruption.
They are under the radar. Look how much NSA you barely hear about the FBI.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
But I guarantee you their mission statement isn't to kill anyone we disagree with or kill witnesses in custody. Last time I checked, I don't even think they have the right to torture, let alone murder.
Yeah.
So the Army can
do
enhanced interrogation.
Yeah, but they do it. I believe they do it.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I mean, look at the Boston bombing we just covered. The witness. I mean, I don't think we have to go to any other detail. A guy came in unarmed and had 6 bullet wounds, one in the top of his head.
Yeah.
Who gave, how could he threaten anyone unarmed in custody when he went there first off too and was telling people he's worried that they might kill him or something, but he didn't think that they would, talk to him so polite, so he decided to go in. We never heard from him again.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, they have the right to kill in their own rules of engagement they go by, but not our law that is the lawful land.
True.
But that is a great question.
It was a short question, but a very, very great question.
Very good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That caught me off guard.
I mean, it wasn't like one of the long ones, but it was a short, but
to the point.
To
and
the
actually
point.
Something that I've never really personally looked up, to be honest with you. But I'm almost positive there's no law saying, hey, the FBI could kill someone without a trial.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
Everyone, as far as I know, did have the right to a fair trial, unless your label is domestic terrorist.
Which,
and then
these
all
days,
rules are off,
Which these days, it's
then
like...
we're going to tie you up naked and send dogs after you and torture you, and then I'm sure that you could get killed once you're labeled domestic terrorist if you're not thrown in the civilian inmate labor program.
Easily, you can disappear.
Yep.
You can disappear.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. I would actually wonder myself, technically, they probably do have some kind of order where, you could, because look, they're giving Infogard business owners the right to kill, in a sense, but not legally. That's the key. And if we hold them on what they're doing illegal, and again, keep our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, then these people should be punished, fired for what they do. And they do not have the legal authority.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I fully agree with you. Good question.
Great question.
Yeah, great question.
And I can see why you didn't want your name said.
Yeah, no, I understand fully.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on. Third question. The question is, do you think that things are going to take off again soon at the Plenty Ranch as troops build up? So we just covered this.
That's funny. That whoever asked that question, that's done earlier the week. Prophetic. They're actually preparing to do assault. We covered that. Yes.
Yes. We can say yes.
When they tell the militia that shows up that they better have funeral plans and a body bag, I could pretty much tell you that the State Department themselves are saying.
I mean, that's a great question, and
it came earlier in the week before this, and the news isn't reporting on this, so I guess you got to ask us.
Yes. Oh, yes. I agree with you. That's a great question. We covered it, but yes.
If you just tuned in for this part, probably the first hour we covered it. Not even the first half hour.
Yeah, I believe
somewhere in the show we covered this.
Somewhere in the show it was covered, but that was a great question.
Yeah, it really was. Every week.
Yeah, it doesn't. No one ever disappoints me. Really.
I feel bad that we should probably start doing 10. I mean, again, I apologize to everyone who we miss. Sometimes there's hundreds.
There's so many.
And
you never know.
We might expand it.
We might expand.
I'll just keep, bringing us these good questions, and we'll expand it to 10.
Yeah. If we still get as many as we do, we might. Me and Pete will talk about it, and
especially with the lack of phone participation.
Yeah, no one likes to call us. Why don't you like us, people?
The last time we had callers, they were saying they should change their number. Do we have to change my number?
Could you please? Do you have
Guys,
caller ID?
We're still here after 11 weeks of doing this.
I like that. Do you have caller ID? Can you change my number?
Yeah. Can you delete the fact that I called?
I mean, I'm not making fun of you.
No, we're not.
Caller, I know you're scared, for your life that they'll come get you, but
we're here.
We're here.
They could
have came and got me or Pete.
Yeah, I don't live very far from.
No, and I don't live too far from here either.
Yeah, and police station. So they know where I'm going. They follow me.
They can come right to the station.
They could have got me probably before I even did one show. So, and they had reason too.
So basically, we're telling you,
taking pictures.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, and honest to God, look we're sitting right here, and are we affected? No, maybe my phone's messed up.
Well, yeah, stuff will happen like that.
But they're gonna attack your character, and if you get to a status where, you could reach people like we do, or even 20 people, 30 people, then all of a sudden they kill you. Those 30 people are going to open their mouths and say, well, hey, John Doe believed this and John Doe believed that, and then those things become fact. So a lot of times they don't want to kill you just for that, because you could be wrong on some things.
Yeah.
They'll get
Yeah.
blown out of proportion. And we're not talking about class. Well, oops. We don't always talk about classified things. We've had a few whistleblowers. So if anything, we shouldn't be here right now. So guys,
Yeah,
stop being
yeah.
scared.
Yeah, I think it is. You know, with the callers,
And we accept calls from across the world, nationally.
Yeah,
I mean,
call us from
we have fans
anywhere,
in Germany
anywhere.
and countries like I could be honest, to be honest with you, I've never heard of
and places where I didn't think they had internet.
that as well. You know,
I'm very surprised.
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, we're not just saying, hey, Chicago people call. Nationally,
Everyone,
you know.
everyone, worldwide, call us. We'd love translation. I hope you speak English. I mean,
If not, we'll work something.
we'll work something out.
Hey, Danny, you speak any other languages? Yeah, he's.
Dan the man, he might.
Him and Alex Jones.
Him and
together
Alex
would figure
Jones can
something
help
out.
us out.
All right, don't worry. But honestly, people, just don't be afraid to express yourself. That's the reason we have a First Amendment. That's the reason this country's thrived, and that's the reason we're able to hold these global bastards out of power for so many years, is because our First Amendment, because our right to protest and all that. And pretty soon, if we don't stand up, we're not going to have any of that.
Yeah.
And that's all I could say is it's time to take action.
I agree with you.
Lose the fear.
Yeah, you don't need to fear. I mean, yeah, there's fear, but you'll be fine.
I
You
have
will
a
be
family.
fine.
Johnny has a family.
Yeah.
You know, we know what we say could get us in trouble, but
I mean, they're watching us. We know
Oh,
they're
yeah.
watching us.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're live right now. Of course they're watching
I've
us.
had how many computers hacked? Like
Yeah.
Army.gov recruiter.
And look at Fox, what they do exactly after we do a broadcast.
I mean, Infowars.com, when I was writing, I was getting death threats for Jesse Ventura petition.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you're going to get some ridicule, but honest to God, it's worth it, because at the end of the day, Johnny and myself could go home at night and know that we're trying to do something, and that feeling.
And that feels great.
Is so
that feels
gratifying.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that makes me, this is not a job to me. This is helping out everyone, to get out this news that people won't speak about.
We're literally like sacrificing a lot of our futures.
Yeah.
So that you could call in with a voice and talk about something, so that you could hear what we have to say, and that possibly we suffer the repercussions.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to get across to you guys, is if they wanted us dead,
they could have had us dead
And
easily, and it could have
they're
been.
not going to come after anyone
or we-
calling in on a number.
Or we could disappear.
That is more likely of the scenario.
Yeah.
Or all of a sudden there's going to be some story about how 2 radio show hosts in Chicago went crazy.
And shot each other or something like that.
And, decided to shoot this school and jump off a bridge or something.
Or attack a cop or
do something, and we were both died in custody.
Suicidal.
And if one of us ever gets pronounced dead for suicide, investigate. Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
That's
I am not suicidal one bit. So yeah, if I die any which way, you know why.
And the funny thing is, your camera is like a sword. These people run like rats, when in the hiding when you pull out a camera on them, just to let you know.
We can talk like this, and we do laugh about this, but we're serious. We're not afraid. I mean, I just said I'm not suicidal. We could disappear, and me and Pete laugh about this, but it's not.
We go to O'Hare Airport.
Going
to get cigarettes because it's out of Cook County. We'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
We get harassed. We get tailed by a car. We've been boxed in. There no license plates or gov plates. They flashed their brights at us. They tried to run us off the road a couple times.
Oh yeah, I love going with him to Bensonville.
Yeah,
it's great.
I kind of dragged him in on it.
It's great. It's having
no one would believe me unless I actually bring them to see it. I have video online people are like, oh, what is this? Da, da, da. Yeah, I'm driving at like 100 miles an hour trying to film a car.
Pete, I believe you. The truth is stranger than fiction.
Oh, hey, I got that video of the guy right up in his face when he followed me, and it turns out they didn't know that the employees liked me, and he didn't purchase anything. This guy was following me the whole time.
Yeah.
They followed me all the way back to the Harlem exit. That's miles. That's into different basically jurisdictions. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. And does it stop us? No. Are we still breathing? Yeah. So just don't be afraid, because if anyone should, we should. And we're not, and therefore you shouldn't be.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree fully on that.
You know?
It will be okay, people. You can call us. We're here. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
That's
their fear, that's the method they want to use to keep us in control.
Exactly.
And to submit to fear is losing.
Yeah, yeah.
know?
They want to put fear in you. They want to put the fear in you.
And we want to put the fear in them.
Exactly. I like how you put that.
You know?
I agree with you.
And they have plenty to fear with all the dirt we dig up on them on a daily basis. So we have the moral high ground, and we're on the offensive.
Think about the news we bring you and the stuff we bring and what we talk about, and we're still sitting here. Like Pete said, and I've said so many times right now, that we've had a lot of news, and we've dug up a lot of stuff.
And we've had a lot of incidents. So like we said, they could have taken us on, said they were watching, because they're scared.
They could pull up right now if they really wanted to.
Anyone watching, there's a window right here. I mean, all it takes is, Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oh yeah.
and the fourth store book depository building behind us, and we're gone.
Oh, yeah.
But honest to God, hopefully they don't have the resources or time to go after people like us. But we're a growing group of people. So pretty soon
I'm loving it. I'm loving that we're growing. That's one thing that why I do this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why I do this, but for us to grow and combine together and fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, with just the people we've met and the sources and the information, like from Sean. I mean, it's just been a great experience.
Oh yeah.
And God blessed us with this platform to reach people, and we're just trying to do the best we can.
And we're gonna keep doing this. We're not gonna stop. We're gonna keep going on and on and on and talking every week, and I don't see us stopping.
We're not going to stop until they they make us. At this point, things are going very well, and like I said, we're getting to the point where there's too many people nationally and globally that are pointing out the criminals to come get us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if we just continue and sit back and be passive and afraid to call in, then they're going to keep winning, because it's already winning.
Well, that's what they're hoping for, is that no one does this, no one speaks out, that we just sit there and let them do what they want.
Which they've pretty much been doing, since 9/11 for sure, and before, under the false pretense of a good economy.
Yeah, they've been doing it for years. They sit back, you guys aren't going to do anything.
And we're just trying to lead our generation and say, hey guys, you know what? Our grandparents, might have did this or let this happen. Our parents might have let this happen, but not on our watch. Maybe.
No.
Not if we have anything to do about it.
No, this is why we're here.
Because people trusted the government back then. The age of information has allowed us to see their true intentions, and we're going to keep fighting until shit changes.
Yeah, well, back then we did have a great, a great government.
So
back, back in the day.
Kind of put aside the negatives because of the positive economic benefits.
Now
we have neither.
Now it's
they're crazy, and we have no economic benefits.
This is just horrible now.
And more alphabet agencies like Homeland Security, NSA.
There's so many problems.
People, it's now or never.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like that. Now or never.
Yeah.
You want to move on?
Let's go on. We kind of veered off on that one.
Yeah, we did.
But like we said, there's so many emails and not enough calls, and we want to hear from you.
I know. Yeah, exactly. We get a lot of emails. I get a lot of emails, and I love it. I love reading them.
Great questions,
Great
great
questions.
points
Yeah.
from all over the world, and we go on there and open the number, and
No one wants to. No one.
and when they do, they're worried, you know.
I mean, I
so we
understand.
had to kind of address this because we know because the numbers
Yeah.
are not,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
The statistics.
The
yeah.
statistics, you know, out of the thousands a day that just, you know, click on our Facebook page, that's not even including, you know, all the outlets we're on.
We're not just Facebook.
There
we're
should
putting
there
every
should be
which
at least one call today.
Yes,
I know
yes.
there's some touchy subjects, but still, I mean,
I just want to say it's gonna be okay, people. You can call us.
everything's gonna be okay.
We gotta move on.
Alright.
We're gonna keep talking and
Alright.
talking.
We'll move on.
All right, fourth question. What does fluoride actually do to harm people? Because it isn't it even in toothpaste and stuff?
Hey, Danny, is Alex Jones here? Well,
Yeah, I'll go get him for you.
all right, get Alex. Well, see, fluoride is it's a poison, okay? So it shouldn't be in the toothpaste, and these people are putting it in our water to dumb us down, literally. Alex, what do you think of the people that put fluoride in water?
Piece of garbage.
Okay, and what is fluoride, Alex? Would you describe fluoride?
Piece of garbage.
There you go.
I agree with you, Alex.
Well said again. I mean,
Thank
he's
you.
a man of few words,
Oh,
but he
yeah.
gets the point out. Okay, these
Piece of garbage.
Thank you, Alex.
He's revved up
These
now.
pieces of garbage are literally killing our brains. And Alex Jones, one more time for good luck. You people that put fluoride in the water treatment centers are...
Piece of garbage.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Pieces, Alex. Pieces of garbage. But yeah,
Piece of garbage.
okay, Alex. No, stop. You're hurting my feelings now, Alex. But
I love you, Alex. Yeah, I give you
Piece of
props.
garbage.
Alex,
Alex,
that
I'm
feeling.
sorry, Alex. I didn't mean to offend you.
He gets upset when you talk about fluoride.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So Alex Jones and I and Johnny Be Good all will tell you that fluoride damages your brain. It puts you in like a zombie-like state. It's one of the main ingredients in Prozac.
Yeah.
And it's in our water and our toothpaste. And on the toothpaste it says if you swallow your toothpaste, call poison control.
Yes.
You know? So what kind of person would put this in our toothpaste?
Piece of garbage.
There you go, Alex. Thank you. Man, oh man, he's always
He's
here
on
for us.
it. Yeah, he's on it.
But yeah, so pretty much, you know, to answer your question, it really is like literally a poison chemical that distorts your brain, your thinking, your mood, and is the most important ingredient in Prozac.
Yeah.
So they're giving us antidepressants.
I was just gonna.
What kind of person would do this?
Piece of garbage.
Thank you, Alex Jones.
I agree fully, Alex.
Me too.
I was
Me
just
too.
gonna comment on the Prozac. It's antidepressant.
Yeah.
It's Zoloft, like Zoloft.
Yeah, exactly.
Zoloft is an antidepressant.
All have fluoride.
Prozac is antidepressant. Why are you putting it in pills? Antidepressant pills.
And,
Come on,
water
people.
and hydrofluoric acid.
Hey, let's not even
too,
get in the
you know?
yeah. I mean water
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything else. But why are you putting it in pills? In antidepressant pills?
Well, I can
That's-
answer that. The Nazis did it to occupy territory in the streams, and they put it up, and it helped basically minimize the resistance of these towns.
Okay.
So, like, literally, you see the rise of the zombie movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're the zombies in the movies because we're drinking the fluoride. We're not intellectually, they feel, on the same level because of our consumption of this or with the country, all that. added up.
Gotcha.
That's what they think of us, the zombies. So yeah, you would think they'd have some kind of other filtration system, some kind of pure.
Yeah, you'd think so.
No, instead they put acid and poison in
Yeah.
the water.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And this is going on everywhere. Actually, some countries ban fluoride though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some states have even moved to do so. So that's something we should think about here in Illinois.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, I just thought about that. Whoever asked that question. Great point.
Yeah, that was a great, yeah.
We should, because they just closed down one of our water treatment plants for something.
Yeah.
And I wonder what that may be. And I actually don't know how much fluoride they put in as compared to
We'll do some
other
research.
places.
We'll
So,
do
yeah,
some research.
that's a good question.
I'll dig into some research on that.
Me as well. I want to know myself how much they put in. If
Yeah,
it's
me
standard
too.
across the board or what. But yeah, be careful. Don't. I mean, I dare anyone thinks we're lying to go drink a bottle of toothpaste and then try to call in and tell me how that went. You know, and think about that being in your water.
Or with the pills.
When you cook with it, I mean, you can't.
I don't know
avoid it.
how doctors prescribe Prozac.
Well, the doctors are
I know,
brainwashed.
I know.
And they read these textbooks that
I
say, like,
know.
oh, Prozac does this, but it doesn't tell you, like,
Yeah.
the negative. And then all of a sudden they get pamphlets saying, well, you could get this much bonus if you give
Yeah.
your
Yeah. Well, you know, with the pill,
willful ignorance.
with the
again.
pill comes so many side effects. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, most doctors, like Alex Jones, would say, are a piece of garbage for
Yeah.
for doing that. You know, wait, like, and do something that's like actually proven. They're just experimenting on everybody.
And again, guinea pigs.
You know, like we are. That's
Yeah.
like the theme of the show.
Yeah, I think this is the theme of the show today.
It should be podcast 11. We are guinea pigs.
I
you know?
agree with you. We are guinea pigs. Broadcast 11.
But yeah, no, it really is a poison, guys.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
is.
I agree. That's
the
a great.
answer to the
That was
question.
a great question.
And it harms everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Great question. You want to move on? Last
Yeah,
question.
Move on to the last question.
All right. Last question. What are your guys' role models or people you look up to?
Wow. Oh, let's see. You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Let's see. I got Ron Paul, Jesse Ventura, Alex Jones, Oliver Stone, and Sean Stone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, pretty much everybody in the liberty movement that's out there putting their neck on the line, knowing the repercussions.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. No.
So I'm not going to say all these just celebrities. It could be some lady who gets fluoride of her county's water. She's a hero to me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, like
You're saying it perfect. I mean, everyone that you just said, I agree. That's what I mean, in
Thank you,
honesty.
brother. Well,
I mean, that's why me and you were both on the same,
Yeah.
same page.
Yeah.
We
That's-
agree fully.
That's why we got Sean to come on. You know, we had such respect for him. We talked about it, who to bring on, and InfoWars has always been there for us. And,
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we share things, they share things. Well, I mean, that's how everyone should be. So
I think that's why me and you are, we have a show, and then,
Yeah.
and we do agree.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? We're on the same page.
yeah,
I mean, because everyone you just said, I agree with you.
yeah. They are all like, you know, basically didn't take the easy route, didn't sell out, or you know, basically giving up money, like, you know, Sean and his dad, to provide us with the truth.
Yeah.
Millions and millions of dollars. Alex Jones could have sold out like Glenn Beck and been on Fox telling us that there is no drones and this and that, making millions and millions of dollars. So it's people like that that make personal sacrifices that to better, you know, everyone.
Yeah, I would say anyone that makes, those
know,
sacrifices
yeah.
to better people and better anyone, that's, my role model. That's who I
Exactly.
look up to.
Anyone could be a hero.
Yeah, anyone can be a hero.
And that's the message of our show too in general is
Yeah.
we're nothing special.
No.
We're just out here passionate about you guys, passionate about our future, passionate about having a future for our grandkids and kids. And a hero to us is someone who's willing to risk everything in order to help someone else. Not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
better yourself or do this for yourself, the greater good of society.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree fully. And those names you mentioned, they stuck their necks out.
Yeah, they have.
That's why they have the names they do, and
You
that's why
know.
we can say,
I mean, Jesse Ventura lost his show because he said 9/11 was an inside job, got banned from most media outlets.
Yeah.
Couldn't get his book published, can't go on most mainstream television. Sean on them put the Untold History out, got death threats. The Kennedy movie they were getting threats over. I mean, almost everyone like that and who just keeps fighting, they're a hero. And it could, like I said, be a local lady who goes into, you know, a county town hall meeting and gets fluoride out of her county's water. She's a hero. So you don't have to be a celebrity or definitely not a sports athlete or anything like that. Any average person could be heroic in their actions by choosing to fight a system in which they know is bigger than them, and not for any personal gain, but for the gain of everyone.
Yeah.
That's a
No,
hero
I
to
agree.
me.
I agree with you fully.
You know?
The only other person I can think of is my father, who made me who
Yeah,
who
that's
made
a
me
good point.
how I am to this day and taught me everything that I know, that I believe in. You know, he raised me the right way. Rest in peace. You know, I miss him fully, just like, you know, your father. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's besides them, I can
Yeah,
say my
that's
father.
another
I
thing,
could say
too.
my father, just how he raised me. He raised me the right way, people. It's what I believe in, what I fight for.
Yeah.
You know,
Is that there's
because if
something bigger than yourself, and you gotta do something for the greater
I
good of
mean,
humanity.
yeah, you know, I mean,
know?
am I wrong? I mean,
No,
it's,
I
you know,
agree. My dad too, and I got to see how he suffered in the corporate world, you
yeah,
know, and how quick they are to turn your back on you when you get sick after busting your ass in a factory. And I agree. My dad's a hero too, 'cause he just kept fighting through adversity, and that's one thing I've learned to do is
Yep.
fight through
Yep.
any obstacle put in the way, and that's what's given me my mental toughness, you know.
yeah.
So he is a hero as well. Right.
Basically, my dad told me, whatever I own, whatever I do, whatever I succeed in life, I want you to do double. That's
Wow.
basically, you know what I'm saying? If I own a car, own two cars, if I own, you know, whatever, if I do this, do that, I want you to do double of what I do. And I love how he said that to me. He wants me to do better than what he did.
Yeah,
And
it's
and
same
and that's a
thing.
great saying. I mean, that's basically saying, son, I want you to go out there and do the best.
Better than
You know,
me,
better
be
than,
better
yeah,
than
better
me,
than,
which
you
is a
know,
humble thing
yeah,
to say,
to
you
succeed more than what I have done. And that's a great,
know? Yeah.
great saying that
Yeah.
he left me with.
It's
That's
similar to me. My dad said, I want you to go to college and get an education.
basically, yeah, that's, yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't agree now looking at it that was necessary, but I wouldn't be the person I am today without that.
Yeah,
And I learned how bad the government was at college.
yeah.
So he guided me in the right direction, but the essence was gain knowledge, become smarter than me, so you don't have to bust your ass for this shit company,
Yep.
that's, you know,
Yep.
that fired me as soon as I got sick, so you could use your mind and not your body to
Yeah,
make a living.
I will always remember that saying that, you know, it's, I guess maybe it was passed down in his family, but that saying always, you know, whatever I have, whatever I do, my knowledge and everything, I want you to do better, double. And I'll know that till the day I die. And I'll do that till the day I die.
Yeah, it's powerful, man.
It's a powerful, you know, powerful message that I'll never forget.
Yeah. And, you know, God bless those who passed. God bless your father. And
God bless your
mine.
father.
Thanks, man. And God bless everyone out there who's listening, who's lost loved ones and
Yes.
things like that, and realize that they're smiling down on you when you're
Of course.
fighting these people, because I know my father might be a little scared of me for what I'm doing, you know, of my physical well-being, but I know he's watching over me. He's
Of
proud.
course, me
Yeah, I know
too.
your
Yeah,
dad's
me
doing
too.
the
I
same.
believe fully. I could tell you, you know, I agree with you fully on that. They're both watching us, and they're both
Giving us
watching
the
us right
courage
now.
to
Yeah,
do this,
giving us the
and
courage.
the will to stay up another 2 hours reading, you know, after 8
sometimes,
hours straight.
sometimes we don't sleep for 2 days, 3 days.
And there's some kind of divine intervention. There's some kind of motivation we can't explain where we get
Yeah,
it from.
yeah. I mean, sometimes we sleep good, but half the time when we do this, people, viewers, listeners, we stay up for hours and days.
How do you sleep after you read documents talk about how they want us dead, basically,
Yeah.
over and over, and how everything you thought isn't, you know?
Yeah, no, yeah, days blend together for me sometimes.
So that's the first thing is when you get in this profession is you gotta learn to expect everything and don't get hurt or held back because something hits you, you know?
Yeah.
And that's one thing my dad, his life taught me too, is that everything that he went through, he just kept fighting to his last breath, man. And that's
I
why
agree
I'm
with
glad
you.
you brought that up, because again, yesterday was my dad's death day, so I'm again like to give a shout out to him up in heaven, smiling down. So thank you for everything, Dad. Love you.
Oh yeah, he's watching. You know he's watching.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be here anymore.
And
if he
you know
wasn't.
my dad's watching
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I mean, honest to God, and everyone out there, they're gonna come down and join us in the battle against good and evil if God so decides to come back, tomorrow.
Yeah, we're religious, and
I'll see him again.
Yeah, I'll see my father again too.
And the first thing they're gonna say to us is, "What the hell are you guys thinking?"
I know.
Like fighting the U.S. government with two people.
Yeah, my dad's gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
but
in the heart of Chicago.
But he's gonna be proud.
Exactly, the balls it takes to do that.
But I mean, he was my best friend, and
Mine too, man.
he could understand what I'm
wish,
doing.
I wish he would, be here now so I could hear what the hell you think. You guys are nuts. But I know he's watching.
I had to mention that one. I mean, for
I'm
a role
glad you
model.
brought that up.
I mean, we have our other people that are role models, but in honesty, our fathers.
And look how that's another reason why they want to destroy the whole family system.
Yep.
It's the reason that we're tearing up here to talk about our dads, and they're telling kids to spy on their parents and pretty much ending the family life as we know it.
It's not easy talking about our fathers.
No.
It's not, but we will. I mean, it's hard, but we're here and we will. But it is hard.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But I'm glad you brought that up and we got to honor them.
Yeah. Oh no, I always, especially with your dad.
Yeah.
I understand fully.
Hey, everything happens for a reason.
Exactly. That's my saying.
He's
Everything.
not suffering anymore here, and I believe that he's in a better place.
Everything, like I said, I like that. Everything happens for a reason. That's my saying too.
Yeah, it does. It really does. God didn't put us in this position for nothing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's another reason it's hard to sleep at night. I feel like I could stay up and do another hour of work.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Read this article or
dig into more research.
Watch another documentary and check if the sources are accurate. I mean, so our work ethics, we could contribute to that too. But thank you for asking that question.
That was a great question. It was a very simple one, but it was I don't know how to explain it. It was a simple but a great question.
It really is. It really was.
Simple, it wasn't complex. It wasn't about anything about the show.
And gets to what motivates us.
It was more personal. It was more personal, basically.
Yeah. Yeah,
in my eyes, in my ears, and
kind of did you guys grow up like,
they want to know basically about us, basically. Yeah.
So I'm humbled. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a great question. Thank you very much, viewer, listener, on that one. Thank you.
Well, our final story of the day is that another thing we called is that Border Patrol, once you start an agency up, they're going to move inland. And they are now doing checkpoints 100 miles off any coast, 100 miles from the Mexico and Canada border. And this is unconstitutional, and they're getting enormous amounts of complaints, like across the board, of abuse, of taking gloves. There's highway footage of a girl taking a glove and going up a woman's vagina, then going without switching the glove into another woman's.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I mean, they're coming, setting up these things, and literally thousands of illegals are hopping, the fences and coming in as they're messing with
and drug dealers.
Exactly. And guns and all drugs, as they're messing with John Doe and his family
We'll just say J Doe.
J Doe and his family on vacation, giving his 15-year-old daughter a cavity search.
Yeah, because it could be Jane or John, so we'll just say J Doe.
So so basically in Arizona, some ranchers are saying as border security expands, complaints of abuse from Customs and Border Protection agents rise among Americans. And Cliven Bundy stated clearly that the dispute wasn't about grazing fees, but the exercise of power through violent confrontation. See, they're trying to set the example. He's saying that, hey, if you don't listen to us, we're going to send these military cops to kick your ass. And what happened? They ran,
Yeah.
So they're not going to be happy. That's why they're going to respond. But the mainstream media wants to compartmentalize the public into competing tribes and keep them from seeing the real problem and out of control government and the massive police state they're creating, So basically, when you have border patrol, they should be on the border. There's nothing else said. Not 100 miles in doing checkpoints.
I don't understand why they're going. Yeah, I don't understand why they're not on the border and they're just...
and on top of it, the illegals that come in, they literally are not even kicking them out anymore.
I know.
I mean, you have a job to secure the border. I mean, they could be transporting weapons of mass destruction past the border, and you're cavity searching a 15-year-old girl on the highway 100 miles away.
And what is she gonna have on her?
Yeah, it sounds like these people are like predators, like sexual deviants that just like to, hey, I'm gonna, take advantage of your daughter right in front of you, and I have a badge to do it.
They just don't know what they're doing. They're not. They need to retrain them. Like I said,
I think we should get rid of border patrol. I mean, we have Homeland Security, we have police, we have state police. How many more? And then what's it called? The TSA Viper teams out. I mean, on the highway.
We have so many groups.
How many more? And who has power over who?
Yeah.
So we need to really get rid of border patrol, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Have them stay on the border at least.
I agree with you. Or
keep them on the border.
Keep them on the border and have them do the right job, what they're supposed to be doing, taking care of the weaponry coming across, the drugs coming across, the illegal immigrants coming across. Yeah, that's all I can say, basically.
Exactly. Do their job and...
Do their job, yeah.
And stop expanding everyone's.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, that's the last story of the day.
Yeah, it was a short one, but it was...
Yeah,
it was a good one to me.
Up because Jesse Ventura warned us when he couldn't get a trial about flying because he didn't want to go through security because he has the hip implants. I think this was 2007 or 2008. He said, hey, people, watch. Border Patrol are going to be way beyond the border, pulling people over, setting checkpoints. Well, guess what? It's here. So that's why I personally put this in. Because I felt that when you have Border Patrol 100 miles in, they're no longer Border Patrol. So that's pretty significant. They're like cops. So who has jurisdiction?
I agree.
And
who does? Who really does?
We have no idea.
Nope.
But another thing is our quote of the day that we're going to end the show with then. I got to admit, it's from Thomas Jefferson again. And yeah, Jefferson was a slaveholder who had babies with his slaves and yet wrote the Declaration of Independence. And people say that's contradicting and da-da-da. He was a great, great person, okay? And a hero of the Revolution. And what he has been quoted as saying to me is like, he's like a prophet. And this is a prime example. Thomas Jefferson said, when all government, domestic and foreign, and little as in great things, shall be drawn to Washington as the center of all power, like it is today, it will render powerless. And the checks provided of one government on another, like our checks and balances, and will become as venal, as oppressive as the government from which we separated. So he is basically warning when Washington, D.C. gets too big, it's going to be worse than the reason we separated from the English and King George III. And he's right.
Oh, yeah, I agree fully.
They're pissed about having soldiers just in the town and taxes.
Yeah.
And tea.
Yeah.
And they went to war. What are we gonna do, people? We're getting raped.
Exactly.
in taxes.
Exactly.
We have troops everywhere.
We're the
we
highest.
Have no
We're the
privacy.
highest in taxes.
Yeah, I mean, what are we gonna do? Our founding fathers, the people that founded this country, fought the biggest and most powerful empire, and they did it using guerrilla warfare tactics and outlasting them.
Yep.
And that's what we gotta do.
Yep.
We gotta not use guerrilla warfare tactics and fight, but use it in the information war and just keep hitting them and hitting them and hitting them till they can't take all of us down.
Yeah.
And we will expose them. And Thomas Jefferson's warning, I think, is passed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
I think we are the head of the new world order. And that's like, in a sense, what he's hinting at. It's when the world goes through Washington, the power will be worse than what we left
Oh, yeah.
in England and what we fought to get away from.
Oh, yeah.
But
I want to do something really quick.
We're gonna, Johnny Be Good Quick is gonna just talk about a sponsor that will be
future sponsor
of the program.
I mean, we do apologize for what do you want to call it?
Well, we've had some editing issues. Put it that way.
Yeah, we'll just call it editing issues, and I feel really bad about prolonging
There's
this.
some people on vacation at the studio.
Yeah.
So we're working on commercial.
And I don't want to prolong this. I just want to get this out there. So our future sponsor is Herity's Sports Bar and Grill. It's at 3147 North Central Avenue, Chicago, Illinois 60634. It's a neighborhood bar, Belmont Central. It has a pool table, punching bag.
Pretty women and good drink.
Yeah,
prices.
that too. Basically, also the hula hooping, the
entertainment.
Yeah, they got great entertainment. The girls do hula hooping.
It's a great place.
It's a great place to go. Like I said, Herity's Bar, 3147 North Central Avenue.
3147 North Central Avenue. Go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out. Go check out the service there, the pool table, the punching bag, the bowling game, and the girls hula hooping.
And as soon as we sign off, you got time to make it.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're open. They're open till I can't remember. They're open till I believe 2 a.m. It might be 4, but I gotta double check on that.
We're gonna have a commercial running for them. And
I just wanted to.
There's just a few things we got to get around and complete, but we wanted to give them a shout out and say, hey, we're still thinking about you.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to. This looks bad because we should have been on this.
Yeah.
And like we said, we've had some technical difficulties with editors and not being here on vacation. And this is not good business, for our future sponsor.
But like we said, we'll get to that ASAP.
Yeah.
Like we were depending on, and other companies too. We could do as you see the thing that pops up, we could do it like that. We could run a commercial for you during break, and we have plenty of packages.
Different packages you can talk to me about.
We're just setting up this whole program and everything like that, and our main guy just went on vacation. So we're sorry, but we will have whatever package you finally decide on, and we'll give you more than what you would imagine.
Just email me or give me a call.
Yeah.
You want
and other companies too, email Johnny at
my email is MUNDEN no space JONATHAN @gmail.com.
Mine's Pete Wichert, PETEWICHERT @ATT.net.
Yeah, email me. I'll get back to you ASAP.
And yeah, well, next week we should have everything up and running fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna
any
get
other
this.
companies interested,
I'm gonna get this up and running and get this going.
But I think that should be it.
Yeah, I think that's a great show.
Great show.
That's a great show, brother.
We got a lot of information out. We're still here. We're still living. We're still breathing. We're still fighting.
We are still here, people.
Hey, and Harry Reid, that challenge is still out on the table. Okay?
Oh yeah, buddy.
But we're going to sign off, enjoy some of this weather modification that they've decided to give us a day that's 60, and I don't know, hopefully it's not going to snow tomorrow.
Oh,
but,
I hope not.
Everyone out there listening, go out, enjoy the weather.
Yeah.
Like, share, comment, and repost our show. And thank you to everyone across the world, and thank you to our sponsors, future sponsors. We look forward to working with you.
Yes.
And again, the news proves the truth is stranger than fiction, and we'll see you next week. This is Pete Wichert.
And Johnny Be Good. Yeah, buddy.
Have a good one. See you guys later.
Peace.